Carolina.
No, was not. It was a good time over there though.
Charlotte's awesome.
It was, from what I could see.
It's a really cool place.
From what I could see, it was a real cool spot. But I got in and got out, man. Got to go Vols in the airport in Charlotte. That's always really cool.
There's nothing better than that, is it?
Listen to me. You just walk by, go Vols. Whoa. I saw a guy sitting down. We went to a barbecue spot in Carolina, too. It was a dude with a Vols hat on also. We're everywhere. And I know it's the Southeast, so every school is represented. Auburn is big time here. But I will say this. I was somewhat glad to get it over with the mentality of now we get to go do real stuff this upcoming weekend. You do too. Not this week, but next week.
That's right.
And just laying out my schedule for what I got going on. I'm writing down a lot of notes. So when we preview Syracuse in a little while, dude, they got a ton of transfers.
I am really excited for what we've been doing Scout Meeting Wednesday on this show for years, and we'll not do exactly that moving forward, but now we do have literally the analyst that is breaking down Tennessee football in real time around the state and around the South, that we'll get that same knowledge on the show every week. I'm so excited for us to get into a game week routine for the first.
I am too. I'm so looking
because it really feels like all of the countdowns, all like the jersey countdowns that you do, and the hey, we're Denarius Moore days away from football time in Tennessee, which was yesterday. Today, we would be Josh Palmer days away.
Hey, now.
It does feel like all that goes out the window, and you get to the Monday of a game week, and the way, at least what I tell myself is, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
This is just like going to be a regular Monday to Saturday during the regular season. We've made it. Like, it's not like Christmas, where you get to the week of Christmas, you're still 5 days away from Christmas. It's like, oh, I still got 5 days to go. Like, I still got a lot of time. Still got to see those presents get under the tree, but I can't open them yet. Right. In this context, it's like, no. In the regular season, we're just going to do this every week. So I can do it now. Yeah. I can get 5 more days. I can live that long. That's the other thing I would think when I was a kid. I was like, gosh, what if someone like snatches me and I don't make it to football?
That is a kid thought, straight up.
It's just like, what is that? I know people would think that about holidays or like birthdays stuff. Yeah. Just like, gosh, what if someone just comes and kidnaps me and I can't watch football?
You want to hear what's crazy? I used to actually think the Grinch would come take our toys. I did. That, and like if I woke up before the presents were out there, the old Santa Claus sprinkles ashes in your eyes to blind you so you couldn't see it. I legitimately believed that as a kid. So I'm with you. This is like that week, Will. Just, we don't even have to like sleep through it. Like, guys, I'm sure, I saw somebody yesterday post, it's going to feel real good opening up my sports book on Monday. I was just like, dang. Guys the boys are ready to go. By the way, this is also the time of the year for myself, too. Or if you see me at Home Goods, okay, or Hobby Lobby, mind your business, okay? Okay, this is where they
also means that there's a boring window of football that you're willing to skip.
It is
what that means.
No, I'm talking about like during the week. Now is the time, Will, where like the holiday stuff is coming out at Hobby Lobby and Home Goods. Hey,
that's way too early for that.
No, it is not. Okay, I'm going to pick up me a pumpkin something.
There's enough. Okay. A pumpkin I can work with.
Yeah.
Christmas, I cannot work with.
And the moms, no, we're far removed from Christmas right now.
That's what you're saying.
I'm talking about the Halloween stuff, Thanksgiving, and like the mums. I love mom. Do you mom shop and pumpkin shop? Yeah, like the plants.
I don't know what mom. I've never heard mums before.
You haven't? Oh, whoa, we got to get you there. You know what they are. You just haven't seen.
The closer I get to 30, the more I'll start learning about those things.
That's mums?
A
false. Yeah.
I thought it was mums was just the word.
Porch. They put them on your front porch.
I don't have a front porch.
You get one.
You're going to put them on your balcony
That's
now.
a big first step I've got to take.
You know what? I'm getting you a mum. They got orange ones. They got purple ones.
I'm sure Peyton's shaking her head.
White
She's
ones.
listening.
Yellow ones. Listen, I'm going to get you a mum. It's my present
Pantone 151C.
Yes. It looks just like it. I'm going to be honest with you. The yellow ones that they have. Oh, orange ones. I say yellow.
Okay.
The orange ones that they have. You would love them. I'm going to give you an orange one and a red one.
615-737-1045 is our number. Line for the 1045 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. Stream it live at 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We are up and running there. You can join the community of nearly 17,000 on the 1045 The Zone YouTube channel. Coming up, Titans 23, Vikings 13. Our biggest takeaways from the Titans preseason finale are next. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. We are going to be handing out and issuing Van Jefferson apology letters. You can get them at your local post office. 615-737-1045. It's going to have a picture of Buck Rising's face on it that says, did Buck influence you to have an overreaction about this man? If so, check here. Van Jefferson, 3 catches over 100 yards, a 65-yard catch and run, as heard on Titans Radio. Taylor Zarzer with the call.
Yes, that was cool, man. I actually heard that call, too. I was, Savage and I were riding back from Knoxville. By the way, shout out to the Tennessee Club. We had our first meeting this past weekend, trying to get everybody back involved in it. But I did it for one of the first times, man. We turned down the TV audio on my iPad and synced it up as close as we could to Titans Radio. So that was really cool. By the way, Van Jefferson, did he run track? His form
He actually didn't at Ravenwood, no.
Man.
Not to my knowledge, at least.
He took the heck off. When you beat a guy with an angle, oh, you fast.
He could have run track.
Yes. With what I saw this past week, he's fast, man.
It felt like that was one of the big takeaways of the game was his ability to bounce back after Atlanta.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, bounce back. Like, we're splitting hairs here. I mean, Van Jefferson was not in danger of missing this 53-man roster.
I don't think so.
And one drop, I mean, it's not necessarily. I talked to him after the game for Titans Radio on the postgame show, and I was like, you feel like you had something to prove? He was like, not really, honestly. Like, just wanted to come out here and do my job and have a good finish to preseason. And I think that's fair. I think this time of year, we make mountains out of molehills. And, I mean, did Van Jefferson want to probably bounce back from a bad play in Atlanta? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, like, that's what Van Jefferson is. If you give him a little bit of space to catch and run, he's got a lot of athleticism. This is not a 35-year-old over-the-hill Titans. This is not Randy Moss, Andre Johnson, or Julio Jones.
No.
And not to say that Van Jefferson's ever been Julio Jones. He would admit that as well. But Van Jefferson's 28 years old and has something still to contribute to this football team.
We made a big nothing out of a game that did not count. There are some guys that absolutely balled out, I would think, Will, in these preseason games that won't make the 53-man roster. You see what I'm saying? Or they'll go to practice squad. Not to say that what those guys did wasn't important, but what I'm getting at, it was a play in a game that had no bearings on the wins and losses of the season in that current moment. But it also shows you, too, I'll say this, when it comes down to Van Jefferson, he may not have acknowledged it, right, when you asked him that question if he needed to bounce back. But I guarantee you this, he probably felt it. He probably heard it, probably saw it, and you got a direct response from a guy that had that moment last week, that had people on social media, and I was following it. Oh, well, I guess he can play. Like, so he's got the mental fortitude to push through that nonsense is what I'm saying. And I absolutely love the fact of how he bounced back, man. That's sports, right? Like, Cam is going to have a moment this year before we get deeper into this conversation. Well, he's going to have a moment where he probably helps lose a game. Not intentionally, but because it's a bit too much for him. That's going to happen. What you want to see the next week or the week after is his ability to bounce back. That's why we love this game. That's why we love sports. That's why we continue to hit that clicker every single Sunday to turn it on to see what somebody is going to do, man. So good on him.
3 catches, 102 yards, a touchdown, 65 yards from Brandon Allen, as you just heard halfway through the second quarter. Cam Ward led another touchdown drive, Ramon. 13 plays, 90 yards. Took 8 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock. A Julius Chestnut touchdown run, the difference for the Titans on that possession. In 2 series, Cam Ward was 3 of 4 for 35 yards, a 102.1 QB rating, leading that 8.5-minute drive. He did take 1 sack. Everyone was grimacing and, okay.
He got it out the way.
When he got back up, you got that out of the way. What did you make of Cam's touchdown drive and what he looked like on Friday night?
Steady is what I would call him. You see what he can do with the ball in his hand is what I would say. Like, you see the beauty of that. You see the way he also keeps the offense on pace too. It's not anything that's outside of the norm. The sack, to me, I thought Minnesota did a good job in coverage. They got the right type of breakdown that they was looking for, and bam, he goes down. Up, unaffected. That was the best response. Like, unaffected, got up and just on to the next one's the way he looked at that. But just like the way Cam has the poise behind center and how he directs those guys and his delivery from time to time, good. Not a whole lot of throwing that he did this past weekend, but it's precise. That's what I would say to him, man. You saw the zip in the whip. I saw a lot of people aggregating the Cam Ward throwing technique. He's got a lot of whip. Louis Riddick was one of those guys this past weekend and spoke on it. Cam Ward's foot hand release has a whip to it, and you absolutely see that. So guys going to have to, and I'll even say this with Cam, when his timing gets better, when those guys are coming out of the break, like, you better have wide receivers that have a high awareness on Madden, okay? If we can reference that. But I'm serious with that, like, the awareness of him getting the ball out on time is going to be something that wide receiver have to get used to. He utilized the pocket beautifully. Again, watching the guy, I think it was Oli Udoh who was in at right tackle too.
Yep.
He fared well.
Got the first crack at it.
He fared well.
Without J.C. Latham in there.
I know. And again, just in general, watching the way Coach Callahan called plays, incorporating the run, as quick as I think this offense can be, I think we're going to see more of that.
It's a run-first offense. Still.
It's methodical. It's going to be, let's not go backwards, let's go forward. And I think this also, the offensive line is big and strong and athletic. He's going to utilize them dudes. I'm seeing them pull on counters and trap. Now, I ain't see too much of a trap, but counters and power plays and going side to side. This is going to be a chip at the rock type of offense. I think for the first half till this offense gets his feet underneath him and Cam get a little bit more understanding and confidence. You got a problem with that at all, Will?
No,
like the way
I have no problem with that at all.
Because, some people are going to want to see him air it out.
Well,
like
we talked about it last week. When we did the segment of what is the number one thing you feel like you know about the Tennessee Titans, that's number one to me is that there's still a run-first offense.
I agree.
And I think that's as much a tip in the cap to Tony Pollard as it is an improved offensive line. I think Tony Pollard has really looked good in preseason, and I think he could explode with a better front five to pave the way for him. Yeah. I really do. I think he is top 2 or 3 of the AFC again in rushing yards this season, just based off of the fact that, I've said the stat so many times, I think it was 915 of his 1,000-plus rushing yards were after contact last year. I mean, he had a 1,000-yard season with very little help.
Oh, and you remember last week in practice, last Monday, I kept hitting your shoulder. You get bruised up last week too?
No, I'm all good.
But I was
toughened up.
You got your camp scan now. But like I'm tapping Will's like that's a real run. And we're seeing those things happen for him and other running backs in these games.
And you say real run because there are times running backs always finish runs through the end zone.
Yeah.
In practices where you can't be tackled. So if a player's touched 2 yards down the line of scrimmage, they're still going to finish the run all the way through. But if it's a real hole, then that's a play that would have gained more yardage in a real game setting as well, which is what you were telling me last week.
It was. And again, so that point of just watching the offense flow, it was slow, but I liked it because it was efficient. You knew when you had to throw it, Will, but you also imposed your will on the team in a game where you was just trying to see your bigs do work. Sure. I love the process is what I'm saying. If you're going to incorporate a young rookie quarterback into an offense, I think it's okay for them to just ride in the passenger seat for a little while. Now, don't be silly with we're just going to run the ball because I think Cam can sling it. But I think it's smart to relieve him of the pressure of having to go win. I thought Chicago last year and even Carolina, I thought they put their quarterbacks or the rookie quarterbacks in positions to where they had to go win. And I don't think that has to be the case, especially while this defense tries to catch up too.
I think you'd like Cam Ward's rookie year to, again, look like Bo Nix.
Facts.
The guy you're going to see week one and someone who wasn't asked to do a ton within the offense, but managed things well enough to where you feel like he has put Denver in a position to contend in 2025. Now, Bo Nix and Cam Ward aren't the same quarterback. Bo Nix is a little bit older, a little bit different of a skill set. He's not as much of an improviser. He is, to me, a higher floor, lower ceiling quarterback. But Sean Payton utilized that really well last year to just have him manage the game and dink and dunk and not be too aggressive. Yeah. And it worked. It worked to the tune of playoffs and becoming a team that is in a window the following year. That's what you hope you get out of Cam Ward this year. And if that means that a lot of his passes are around the line of scrimmage, or maybe you set up the explosive passing game because you are just finding holes and dinking and dunking, so be it. I thought for me, the takeaway was just Cam's ability to find some new receivers. We've talked about this for weeks.
True.
How does Cam Ward get to a point where Calvin Ridley isn't the only wide receiver you feel like he's really got a connection with? Mm-hmm. And I thought his throw to Van Jefferson to begin the touchdown drive was excellent. Deep down the left side, between the corner and the safety there in the boundary, finds Van Jefferson for 17 yards. The explosive parts of the offense were really on display on that entire drive. You have Khalil Mullings running for 17 yards. You have Cam finding Elikiah Manor short for 13 yards, finding a hole there on 2nd and 5 to move the chains after they started off a little bit behind the sticks at the beginning of that drive. You get Julius Chestnut up the middle for 16 more yards. You get Cam again finding Chestnut that a defensive holding keeps you going. Like, I just thought that Cam finding Aya Manor twice was significant, because I think Elikiah Manor is next up to start pushing Van Jefferson for that third spot on the field. You know, Calvin Ridley and Tyler Lockett are starters. Mm-hmm. I think Elikiah Manor has at least played himself onto an equal playing field with Van Jefferson at the start of the season, to the point where their snap counts are going to be close to equal week 1 in Denver.
I ran into a gentleman yesterday. We went to an establishment you love, okay, the Waffle House, okay? And we're waiting in line, and the guy was like, hey, I know you're going to hate me for doing this, but tell me about the Titans. And I was just giving him a rundown, and I said the exact same thing about Elikiah Manor that you just said. That guy, that young man, that young player, that young rookie man is going to be in position, I think, that he elevates himself throughout the course of this season.
He was drafted after Chimere Dike, but he looks more ready.
Yes, sir.
Now.
Remember, we saw that on draft night. Whenever you watch his catchability to come back to the ball. I was actually watching this past weekend, too, Syracuse versus Stanford. And, like, he was a feature player for them, but I think he's had more of that more than Chimere Dike has, too. He has been more of the feature, the go-to guy than Chimere was. Chimere was the speed guy set up to get down the field, whereas it was a possession thing for Elikiah Manor, and I think he's more comfortable with this, Will, to start off his career. And there will be a point to where I feel like halfway through the season we see DK come into his own too, or they find, as you said, Will, when Cam gets more comfortable, ways to incorporate his speed into this offense if he takes advantage of these opportunities too. But as it stands right now, if you're building for the future, I'm with you. I think you look at Calvin, you look at Lockett, and then I'm side-eyeing Van and Elikiah Manor in the same conversation with Elick probably first.
That's the goal of where this team is this year, right? You
Yeah.
have veterans that you want to be pushed all season in terms of production by the young guys. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't get the chance to listen to Mike Bergonzi with Chris Long and the Greenlight podcast that came out over the weekend as well, it's a great conversation, but that was the big takeaway that Bergonzi had to Chris Long was, hey, this rookie class is already here. They're already establishing themselves as players. And wide receiver is, I think, the next step. And those two guys, we've talked about it for weeks now, just aren't quite there yet in terms of the production on the field. I think they took a step forward. I think Aya Manor specifically took a step forward.
I agree with you.
In this game. In DK, I don't think there's any reason to be alarmed by the fact that he hasn't looked that part yet. Everyone just has different learning curves, and you draft based on, as you like to say, the P-word potential.
Right.
Not always just the immediate impact. I think Elikiah Manor is a more immediate impact player because he is physically more of a pro-ready, NFL-ready wide receiver.
And then it's only one football to go around. And he got guys in front of him that he hadn't been able to get the opportunity from also. DK is behind who, for instance, on there? Is it Calvin or is it Lockett?
I think DK is behind Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. He's not going to get that opportunity early, I don't think.
I do think DK is going to be your returner, though.
Okay.
Because if you carry 7 wide receivers, which feels safe at this point, I don't see, and I know we just got this question from Brendan on YouTube in the F&M Bank chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, says, who is starting returner, DK or Prochet? If they keep 7 wide receivers on the 53-man roster, again, we have to remind people, Ramon, that it really is the 46 that's contributing to your football team. And one of those guys is likely going to be inactive. Of those 7 wide receivers, Prochet is the most likely to be inactive because James Prochet is not going to contribute as much to you on offense. So I think that would put DK in as your starting punt returner on game day, even though Prochet right now, again, you talk about pro ready and NFL ready, is probably the safer choice at this point. It just becomes the arithmetic of who do we really need on special teams who can also do other jobs.
I would flip it just because of the experience in the NFL. I'd probably go Prochet first, and I'd probably put DK as a certified gunner, him and Bryce Oliver, just to think of it in the sense of like, okay, coaches like to know that they can trust the guys fielding the footballs. And again, I've seen a whole bunch of what DK's done, but you could be right, I could be wrong. The way I look at it is I think he would go with the veteran, but again, we'll see, in the end. The other part for Chimere Dike, to your point, is how good of a gunner is he on punt and punt return and stuff like that.
And Van Jefferson's a gunner as well.
Wow, yeah, that's true. Hey, Bones Foster's good luck, okay? with making that type of decision. But it's a good problem to have because we got more than one option we're speaking of right now.
That's true. There is depth there in a way that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable than you probably did a year ago. Other takeaway for me, congratulations to Cedric Gray. You're a starting linebacker for the Tennessee Titans.
Well, he just won't go away.
Not go away is how I feel about guys like Mason Kinsey who just stick around. I'm serious. And I say that as a compliment. Because Mason's made a career for himself. Cedric Gray is not just hanging around to me.
No.
And I know that's not the way what you meant, but Cedric Gray is thriving.
Yeah.
5 tackles leading the way again. He leads the team in tackles for all 3 preseason games. I know James Williams had the interception, but Cedric Gray is everywhere on this defense to a point where that is where I have done the biggest 180 on this roster and on this team.
Same.
You entered the training camp and you entered preseason feeling skeptical and feeling cautiously optimistic about the linebacker position. Now you just feel optimistic about these 2 young guys and what they're doing next to a veteran who you know what you're getting in Cody Barton.
He's got a natural gravitational pull to the football. He does. You got to give it up to him. His ability to time up blitzes, which we saw in practice one day. I think it was reported, so we'll speak on it again. Remember, we were out there, Will. He ran through the line of scrimmage and beat the handoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is an art. Like, understanding how to time up your positioning. He's a thumper. He's shown that he's good in coverage. I know the interception didn't count, but it did on tape. Because he was where he was supposed to be in that moment right there. And you see the attitude and smarts that he's bringing along with it. Like, if he was just a downhill, hit you in the mouth type of guy, all right, cool, we'll feel. But he's been good in open field tackles. He's been good at the line of scrimmage. He's been good, like, chasing guys down and dropping in coverage, too. He's checked every single box while also starting training camp off, Will, as the number 2. I think the job was James Williams to win, to lose.
He had it.
He had it. Absolutely had it, man.
The week in Atlanta changed it.
Now, here's what we'll also say this, too. This is where he, as a young pro, got to put himself in Cedric's shoes again, too. There will be a point to where he will be called on. If he isn't the starter next week, whenever they release the official depth chart, there's no reason to tuck your head. I think there's a way to utilize each one of those guys on defensive sets from time to time.
I can tell you pretty confidently that Cedric Gray is the starting linebacker next to Cody Barton for the Tennessee Titans.
I can believe that.
615-737-1045. I'd love to hear your takes and thoughts on Titans and Vikings from Friday night. 615-737-1045. Coming up, the injury update from the weekend from head coach Brian Callahan, and more of your thoughts after this.
It's Ramon Foster for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Good people, the reason it's the Wellness Institute of Nashville is because they want to alert you that Pain is Bad. That's also their website, painisbad.com, man. I've been going to see Dr. Ashley, and she knows this, man. She knows a lot about athletes' body, man, the trauma that your sport and position can cause in your body. Also, from active athletes needing some help to stay on the field to older guys that are now off the field but can still feel the days. Well, she's got extensive knowledge and the top-of-the-line equipment to help you get better. Ladies, she's also there for you, too, man, from your hips and back to nerve damage from carrying kids or just carrying the family the way y'all do from time to time, man. Well, no, all the time. Let her help you get better also and stronger and healthier. The Wellness Institute is one of the few that have a female doctor that can help be an advocate for you and get rid of that pain in your back and your neck and tingling down your arms and legs. As I tell you, no sciatic nerve pain into your leg, no more weakness or sleepless nights, and say goodbye to the disc bulges, herniations, and spinal stenosis. They are one of the best around, Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashton, man. So start your pain-free life, and it is possible by calling the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Their number is 615-246-5009, or go to the website I told you, which is painisbad.com.
Urbana Willow 1045, The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, 615-737-1045. Titans 23, Vikings 13. Your thoughts to the F&M Bank chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So Brian Callahan talked about the injuries and some of the things that the team was more cautious about during preseason as they get forward into week one. This was the head coach talking about the different guys such as J.C. Latham, Calvin Ridley, with little minor things as they get ready for the Broncos.
Yeah, this part of this training camp's not over, but for the most part, we're trying to start to get guys back now. You know, I thought we had a hard camp. I thought it was physical. It's time to start bringing some legs back and getting guys fresh and ready to roll. So we'll manage that stuff. As far as those guys go, it's getting them back into it and making sure we're ready to roll. I think all those guys are tracking for week one without a ton of concern at the moment. But we'll see how the practice week goes. But it's time to get those guys back and get moving and get ready to go play football for real. So feel good about where they're all at, but we got to manage that and make sure we're doing the right things by them so they're back and ready to roll for week one.
That was Brian Callahan talking about J.C. Latham, Tavondre Sweat, and Calvin Ridley. Yeah. So, guys, we didn't see as much Ramon at the end of camp, but doesn't appear to be a major concern about their availability for week one.
No, I'm eager to see Tavondre Sweat more than anything. I don't think conditioning will be a issue of his whatsoever because the Titans training staff seems to know, they have plans for guys. I do and did want to see him get some real work, push some guys back, see how he and Jeff work side by side. Sebastian Joseph Day has held up his end as much as you needed a guy to. I'm not calling him the Nico Autry, but you're getting consistency out of him. And that's what you're looking for from Sebastian Joseph Day. But if you get the three of them working together, man, that could be big for this team, especially when you're looking at the depth side of stuff too. But this second-year step for Tavondre, as he gets back healthy, I think that's probably my bigger headline of the guys from last year is watching what he can do in year two. I think his body looks better, should be more conditioned, should have more rest because he didn't play in games or practice a whole lot this preseason. I do want to see what that first game looks like for him. And also, he's going to Denver and haven't gotten, a high output of work so far.
Yeah, I think it's significant. We've been sold so much on this new front seven and defensive line being built around the two big guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat. We've not seen Sweat for a month.
Yeah.
Really curious to see how ready he is.
You're going to probably have to shake some cobwebs off. As somebody's played first game, and it's not easy going out there. It's not. You got to get your legs underneath you quickly, but I enjoy what that crowd's going to be. It's the first game of the season. You shouldn't have to beg anybody to get going, though.
Other takeaways from Friday night's win over Minnesota. I thought Julius Chestnut put himself in good position with his performance against the Vikings. 5 carries for 28 yards. I think if we needed to see him more, or if the team really felt like he was in competition to make the team, he would have had more than 5 carries for 28 yards.
No doubt.
Especially considering that Khalil Mullings got hurt on kick team and unfortunately collided with Mike Brown at the end of that play. Just a really unlucky play for him. According to Brian Callahan, post-game doesn't appear to be anything serious, so he should be good to go. But running back is really interesting right now, Ramon, because I think there is reason for concern about Tajay Spears' week one health. Because at this point, I hate it for Tajay, but when in doubt, I'm going to err on the side of caution and that this team needs more help versus less, considering Tajay's availability and the injuries that have already piled up for him. I feel excellent about Tony Pollard at the top of the depth chart. I think this team could really take a strong look at adding another running back tomorrow or Wednesday once cuts are made around the league on waivers.
Do you need, and I say this with all due respect, a Tony Pollard 2.0?
It depends on how long Tajay is out. Because, again, if you start him on IR to begin the season, he has to miss the first 4 games.
Facts.
So you're talking week 5. Do you feel like you can get by with Julius Chestnut and Khalil Mullings as your backups to Tony Pollard for 4 weeks, I think you'd probably bring somebody else in.
The only reason I bring that up is this. If one running back is like the other, then you don't have to change the offense. But what I also say is this. I do think there needs to be variations in the style of running backs that you have. And meaning, like,
and you have that in Chestnut and Mullins.
Exactly.
You need a Robin for Tony.
Exactly. And that's 100%. Where I'm at with saying that I'm okay with it being Tony, Julius, and Khalil Mullins, especially if you're putting Julius Chestnut in as your bruiser.
I agree.
I don't see Tajay as a bruiser. I see when he goes in, there's a dynamic, him running in between the tackles or throwing something outside. But, like, I do think offenses need a change-up on 2nd and 4 when he can go get that because of his weight, his
you
size.
need someone who can give Tony a rest.
Yeah, man. And that's where I'm at, like, with this conversation. And here's the other thing, too, for Tajay. Tajay plays a position that we all grow up wanting to play. I'm sure the first time you went in the backyard, I want to run the ball. And there's a long line of guys that want to run the football in the NFL. His ability to stay healthy, man, is crucial for this team. And to your point of you having to protect yourself as a staff, as a team, that's where I'd much rather Tajay Spears take as much time as he possibly needs to get healthy than to say, we need you in week 1. I much rather, Will, to your point, run with Julius and also Julius and Khalil Mullins more than anything.
The thing with Mullins is pass protection's not there yet.
Yeah. Oh, no, 100%.
And I don't feel
but you ain't gotta
super
put him
confident in him in passing situations where you feel like he is there to protect Cam. But then the fact that, like, all right, well, then you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Okay, well, but then it does get kind of predictable when you do put him on the field, what you're doing. Okay, we're probably going to hand it to him.
But see, that's fine, though, too, because that's also a rep that you get an opportunity to rest your starter.
Right.
And then put Tony right back out there in second down.
It gives Khalil Mullins a very narrow pathway to playing. So much so that, again, I think it proves my point. You're going to have to add somebody else if Tajay Spears isn't available.
4 running backs, though? Yeah. Active?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not necessarily active, but, I mean, on the team, on the 53,
on the 53,
yes.
I'll roll with you there. Yeah, 100%.
And Julius, too, is such a good special teams player that he almost kind of acts as like another safety or linebacker in what he can do for you. So that is a reason to have him active and have him available is the role on special teams he plays. And if Prochet is not available, again, if Spears is not available, you might put DK and Chestnut back there to return kicks.
Yeah. I'm of the mindset going into this one, Tajay, I feel like, has to prove more than he ever has this year.
Captain Tony, first to the phone, 615-737-1045. What's up, Tony?
Morning.
Hey, good morning. What's going on, Moan?
Not much,
Will,
man.
good morning to
good
you
morning.
guys. Hey, that's a great conversation y'all got going with the depth chart and, with the cuts coming up. I had 2 questions for you guys, and then I'll hang up and listen. One, where do you guys think the depth is in comparison to where it was when we started training camp? I know the big narrative across the zone shows has been that, if the Titans have to plug into their depth chart, they're going to be in trouble. So where do you see them now in comparison to where they were when we started training camp? And second, with cut day being tomorrow, do you see any teams or foresee the Titans making any moves, being able to upgrade any of those spots from players that may get cut tomorrow? And I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
No doubt.
Thank you, Tony. You read our minds because we were about to talk about the waiver thing. So we'll answer that coming up at the top of the hour. But to the point about depth, Ramon, where do you feel like this team is deeper now than at the beginning of camp?
Where they're deeper now, I would probably say linebacker. Just looking at the quality of what those guys have provided, Will.
In a way, yes. In another way, no. Because at the top of the depth chart, yes, they are deeper in terms of their 1s and 2s. But without Otis Reese and without a 4th linebacker, I think this team's linebacker 4 is on another team right now.
You think he's on another team? Wow. In the offensive line,
offensive line depth, I feel great
it's
about.
Definitely a whole lot better. Tight end, there's options. I'm not sure if you're going to keep 4, but you got better options than you did last year going into this thing. Well, more proven options.
I think there are 2 locks to make the roster at tight end. I think David Martin Robinson probably does, but I don't feel great about tight end depth. I think they're going to add another one of there, too.
It's just funny he brings this up, Tony. I know we got a conversation to be had, but, it's still low, I guess, quality after the starters. I just feel better about the starters.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
agree.
that's what I'm coming
agree.
out of camp saying.
The depth is still not there.
No,
It's not.
I just feel better.
I think you feel better about it on the offensive line and its safety than you did at the beginning of camp because some young linemen and tackles are taking a step forward.
Yep.
And at safety, you added Quandre Diggs. 615-737-1045. How will the Titans use the waiver claim #1 spot to strengthen the team? We'll answer that question at Tony's and get Brian Callahan's thoughts on that coming up next. Hey, it's Will Bowling. I want to tell you about my new obsession. Hey, look, it is football season. That means you got to have the snacks. It means you got to have the right appetizers. You got to have something for everybody to snack on game day. My new obsession is Daisy French onion dip. Oh, yeah, if you know me, one of my guilty pleasures during football season, I love getting the chips, the wings, a little bit of celery makes its way in there. Some carrots makes its way in there too. But the wings, that is the thing that I need watching a big game. Well, now Daisy has come out with a delicious Daisy French onion dip and a Daisy ranch dip. These are an absolute game changer. They are as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So you got to give Daisy French onion dip a try. Trust me, it is going to be an elevator for your game day. Whatever you are dipping, make sure you're dipping it with Daisy French onion dip. You can look for Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you.
It is 7:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans concluded the 2025 preseason with a 23-13 win Friday night over the Minnesota Vikings and complete a 2-1 overall record in the preseason. Rookie quarterback Cam Ward had his best statistical game, completing 3 of 4 passes for 36 yards, leading the Titans on a touchdown drive on the second drive of the game, capped off by a Julius Chestnut 1-yard touchdown run. Ward had a quarterback rating of 102.1. The highlight of the day was wide receiver Van Jefferson's 65-yard catch and run for a touchdown thrown by quarterback Brandon Allen in the second quarter. The Titans have yet to make any roster cuts ahead of tomorrow's 3 p.m. Central deadline, but many teams across the league have already begun making their cuts. The Titans hold the top spot in waiver claims. In NFL news yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles made a trio of trades, trading offensive tackle Darian Kennard to the Green Bay Packers for a 2027 sixth-round pick, also acquiring offensive tackle Fred Johnson from the Jacksonville Jaguars in exchange for a 2026 seventh-round pick, and finally the Eagles acquired quarterback Sam Howell and a 2026 sixth-round pick from the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for a 2026 fifth-round pick, as well as a 2027 seventh-round pick. The Vikings then went on to sign veteran quarterback Carson Wentz to back up second-year man J.J. McCarthy. Wentz joins his 6th different team in 6 years. And in golf, Englishman Tommy Fleetwood won the PGA Tour Championship and claims the FedEx Cup Championship this weekend as he shoots 18 under. The win was Fleetwood's first PGA Tour title and comes with a win of a winning purse. $10 million. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramon and Will at 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee into hour number 2. 615-737-1045, how you jump in. Now, we have a lot of people, Ramon Foster, who tune in for the first time, maybe in a long time, on weeks like this. So if you are back, first of all, we missed you. Secondly, we hope you stay. Thirdly, we invite you to subscribe to the 104.5 The Zone Podcast Network. You just search Ramon and Will wherever you download podcasts, and you're going to get us there. Every single segment, every minute, every conversation, all of my bad takes, all of Ramon's cool stories from playing for the Steelers and being the Vol Network analyst. You get it all there, wherever you download podcasts, Apple and Spotify, where we recommend you go. Waiver order is going to be a big topic of conversation this week, Ramon, and there will be some guys who make the initial 53 tomorrow who may not be on it 24 hours after they make it. How active do you think the Titans are about to be with the number 1 spot in the waiver order?
I think it's 2 positions that they'll probably be active at. I think defensive tackle, just for depth, as we spoke about, and I think edge. Those are the 2 positions. I would throw corner in there too, but it's hard getting the corner off of waivers and incorporating him into your defense that soon. Those 2 positions I mentioned right there, defensive tackle and edge, I think are easier to just say, hey, do that thing that you do off the edge, and then we'll teach you everything else. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hold your block and be a menace up the middle. Those are the 2 that I'm looking at when it comes down to this team adding some depth. And it's multiple bodies at those positions too. And, of course, the way they scout guys coming out of the draft, I will say those are the 2 I'm watching. I can't specifically pinpoint another one that I feel that strong about.
Ooh, I got your number 1 place they're going to add help.
Let me hear it.
Inside linebacker.
Still inside linebacker. Okay.
I don't think this team's 4th inside linebacker is on the roster yet.
Yeah.
To be totally honest with you.
Okay. I can see that one. To come in, and you're saying this also to let a guy come in, grow, and learn a position instead of putting him in rotation.
Yeah, I don't think it's someone who's going to play a ton of snaps.
Okay,
but I do think it's someone who's on the 46 on game day, who is going to be a special teamer and backup to your top 3.
Understood.
Because you feel really good about where you have Cody Barton, Cedric Gray, and James Williams, but beyond that, it is Brian Asamoah, Amari Burney, Curtis Jacobs. Haven't seen enough from one of those guys to just put both hands on that position to say, I'm making this team. I think Curtis Jacobs has a decent shot. And again, I think this is where if you were putting the 53 guys who are here right now on the roster with a guarantee that you're adding no one else from other teams, then yeah, I think Curtis Jacobs probably makes it. But I think that's far from a guarantee based off how much this team has looked to linebacker and looked to waivers already to add help. I mean, they added, 3 linebackers over the course of the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Between Blake Lynch, they had Khalid Hudson, who was only here for about a week and a half, and then they had Brian Asamoah, who they claimed from Minnesota, the former third-round pick, who was released.
Yeah. I see your point there for sure. There's definitely a need. And I think more specifically on the special team side of it, with the idea that you would start, I was shocked about Otis Reese. I don't know why or the how.
It's the ankle.
It's the ankle. Tough for him because
they didn't waive him with an injury designation, but I think that ankle really bothered him for a lot of camp.
When he went out there and practiced that day, he was deemed healthy, baby. That's how the business worked, man. But I agree with you there. There's need for a guy or two there. I just don't know what it's going to look like or the quality of it, too, or how they feel about the guys inside of the building. But that is a position that definitely is fragile.
It's going to be interesting. I think you're right on edge rusher. I think there could be help there. But I do think that Jihad Ward might have taken away that spot for a guy who became available. I think Jihad Ward's making the team. I think Desmond Evans is a prototypical practice squad project who is a long, big, athletic edge rusher. You feel like you can mold into a pro.
Pour into him,
6'6",
yes.
A really big dude. I like the level of potential there, but I'm not sure he makes the team out of camp. So you're right. I think that's a place where they could add. We just got done talking about running back. That all depends on what they know that we don't know about Tajay Spears. If Tajay's ready for week 1, I think you feel okay at running back. Right. But if you feel like you need to replace Tajay Spears for the short term, then I think running back is a place where you could go find help. I'm curious on tight end. Josh Whyle played so much in second halves of preseason games. That sends a message. It sends a message that the organization is not overly fond of your prospects of making this team when you feel like you have to see somebody play into the fourth quarter of preseason games over and over.
I'm with you.
He was consistently playing late game reps to the point where, hey, I think Josh Whyle is out and Gunnar Helm has kind of replaced him. The question then becomes, Ramon, has David Martin Robinson improved enough as a blocker to be the third guy? Or do you keep a 9th offensive lineman to be the tackle-eligible, quote-unquote, big tight end, the same way John Ojukwu was utilized last year?
I think we saw a little bit of that answer this past week with Oli Udoh playing tackle, and Ojukwu came in as extra tight end. I think we got a little bit of that. You're right about Whyle, too, because sometimes coaches want to give you an opportunity by playing more to display it for other teams, for the scenario that they probably might not keep you here. I'm not worried about Josh Whyle, but I am side-eyeing him. Well, at this point, I agree with you. There's 2 locks at tight end. The third one, I think, probably goes to DMR.
David Martin Robinson has got the inside track to be the third tight end.
The reason I say that is it's not a fact of how, is David Martin Robinson an elite blocker at the line of scrimmage? Is he better than Josh Whyle? That's the question. That's
I think he's
conversation.
better as a receiver.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're looking at. Like, it's him versus him. Josh Whyle versus David Martin Robinson. And what has Josh shown us so far?
I also just think this is going to be more of an 11 personnel offense than it was last year because you are more confident maybe in some of your slot guys and having Tyler Lockett on the field more, having Chimere DK on the field more. Heck, when you have Elikai Manor out there and run blocking, it's like having a tight end on the outside.
Absolutely.
The way that he is just running through guys' face in the run game. So I agree. I think if they feel like David Martin Robinson hasn't improved enough as a blocker, you could see them add there, but I'd be a little more surprised. The other one I think they could add help is backup nickel. Gabe Judy Lally has worked a lot more inside this camp than he did last year. I think he has done enough to put himself, again, on the 53 guys who are in that facility today. Gabe Judy Lally is on the roster. Yeah. But he's not flashed to me as much as he did this time a year ago. I think there are some moments where he's still getting beat. I think you saw that in the preseason game on Friday night. but it's his versatility that gives him value. And the fact that he can back up Roger McCreary at nickel could be enough for him to make the roster. He's one of those where that's kind of a case-by-case basis. If the Titans feel like there is someone who becomes available who is an upgrade on him, then maybe you do add at corner. But I don't think that's a position you're looking at like linebacker where you're going into waivers saying, we have to get someone here. I think maybe there are some players on their board to say, yeah, if this guy becomes available, we're taking him. But I don't think it's a guarantee that Gabe is on or off this roster.
Yeah, I thought Giuliani had done enough to be around.
I think he has. I think he has. I just don't think he's a lock.
Yeah, I'm with you. If they're keeping, 7? He's 7. You know what I'm saying? Well, what you're asking him to
7
do.
corners?
How many are they keeping?
He'd be 6.
He'd be 6? He's 6 then. The way I view his situation, he's 6 if you're keeping him with a roaming eye to find somebody else. I agree with you there. I will say seeing L'Jarius practice a little bit made me feel better about the top end quality of the cornerbacks though. But it's a matter of, as you said too, health. There's health that goes into this conversation when you're mentioning him. Another dude that I like on this team too, I think James Lynch has played himself into this roster spot too.
I agree. I completely agree.
Watch, he's a disruptor. You notice him when he's amongst the 2s and the 3s. Real good pro.
Coming up, who is a lock to make the Tennessee Titans? I've got 49 guys on my list who I think are in bold, in pen, locks to make the team. We'll tell you who those guys are next. Put Lee Company on your team and stay ahead of the game with home maintenance, repairs, and more. Hey, what's going on? It's Will Bowling. For as little as $14 a month, become a Lee Company Plus member and receive 4 annual visits to your home for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Even better, Lee Company Plus members receive up to 20% off on every visit and enjoy priority service. So you can learn more online about this at leecompany.com/plus. Platinum Home Protection starts with a Lee Company Plus membership. And look, I love this membership because you stay ahead of Mother Nature. It's 4 annual visits. Lee Company has a schedule of when they are going to help you. It is preventative. It keeps everything running the way it is supposed to before Mother Nature quickly switches between all 4 seasons in a week here in Middle Tennessee. 615-567-1000 is the number to call. You can check them out online. Learn more about this membership at leecompany.com/plus. That's Lee Company. All you need.
Guys, you already know Synergix and Low T Serum. They've been changing the lives of men across the country for over a decade. Testosterone replacement therapy has helped men get their energy back, regain confidence, save their marriages, and help overcome symptoms associated with depression. It's truly life-changing, man. But did you also know that women with hormonal imbalances experience many of the same symptoms of men with low testosterone? And guys, you know how frustrating it can be. But for the first time ever, Low T Centers now offer hormone replacement therapy for women. Low T doesn't just affect the guys. In fact, testosterone benefits women as well. Other treatment options are available to help women balance their hormones and bring back balance to their life. With in-center and at-home treatment options available for women, find out which one is right for you when you speak to one of your providers about their injections, topical creams, and pellets. Ladies can come to any of their centers and get a test that includes a full hormone panel and further analysis to treat whole patient, looking at lab results and how you feel to create a personalized hormone therapy for you. Again, I tell you guys to take care of your health. Go get checked out. See how you feel and what's going on with you. But you can go to the website, as I do, man, at fixmylowt.com. The website is fixmylowt.com. And be sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Now Chestnut gets the carry. That's a first down run and a hurdle. Chestnut into the red zone. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. 16-yard run by Chestnut. Ward turns, hands, Chestnut dives. That is a Titans touchdown. Yes, yes, yes.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Hearing Coach Mack say yes means the football is that much closer. Preseason finally over. Who is a lock to make the Tennessee Titans roster? 615-737-1045. You can give your thoughts. You can judge us for the picks we are about to make. We did not do a full 53 this morning.
No.
But I have compiled a list of guys who I think spots are in pen and not pencil. Because I do think there are going to be waiver claims. And, Ramon, I think some of these guys could make the roster on Tuesday. And if certain players become available Tuesday afternoon elsewhere, they could also not be on the roster on Wednesday. It's going to be a really interesting week for the organization. And I do, just from the human side, feel bad for a coaching staff or the front office that's probably going to have to tell some guys, hey, congrats, you made it. And then a day later say, hey, never mind.
It's real.
It's the worst part, I imagine, of being an NFL personnel person.
I hate this day in general because I remember being in those spots. Like, I felt confident about me making the team. And I don't say that, like, because I played 11 years. Like, I say, like, okay, well, I saw the scenarios. I saw where I was asked to do multiple things, like playing guard and tackle, and other guys didn't get reps. Or there were dudes that were in their second and third year that were behind me on the depth chart. Like, you read it, you see it. But like that first cut day, I remember it. And what's crazy is it's a filthy game on how some of it do it. I love the way like Tampa has done it. Like, hey, this guy's been released. Don't even come back into the building.
New England's already done some of that too.
They have but the way we did ours and still do from what I was told is, well, you come in, you get a workout in, you get a lunch, and then you get asked to bring your playbook. And you know why the workout is asked, though, too? Because if they do cut you without coming into the building, you can't get a designation for injury. You can't get an injury settlement. So that's like the dirtiness behind the business. But I'll never forget my first cut day that I saw was in 2009, and I'm on the elliptical with some younger guys, D-tackle beside me, and I saw this. I was next to a vet who was just on the team that had just won the Super Bowl. And the guy walks in the weight room, the Turk. He turns a left, and the guy next to me must have felt it or didn't think I was getting cut because he told the dude, you better not bleeping come back here. You better, like, he got loud, and reality hit him. He walked up to him quietly, Will, and said, hey, coach wants to see you in his office, bring your playbook. And this dude, he didn't break down crying, but he was, like, visibly, like, ticked off. He busted a window in the weight room.
Oh, wow.
He had one of those.
Never heard that story
Those
before.
little 12-ounce water bottles of like Dasani or whatever, and threw it into the doggone window. I was just like, dang.
Goodness.
Got cut.
Interesting.
Never played again.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's what's happening.
That's the week that you are entering. Brian Callahan talked about it on Saturday in his press conference, said, I'm not looking forward to the next few days. I think he's legitimately such a good just person, honestly, that I don't imagine really anyone enjoys this, but especially someone like him. So let's go through and look at how many locks there are on this roster. I'm here to tell you that Cam Ward is going to make the Tennessee Titans, and Brandon Allen is as well. That's two locks. Trevor Siemian, I don't see them keeping Siemian as a third quarterback on the 53.
You know he's there. You know he's there.
You know he'll stick on the practice squad, and with all due respect to Trevor, who I think adds value to this team, it adds value in the meeting room. You could go find another quarterback of his profile and experience.
And the other part for him, too, he can negotiate for a high salary on practice squad.
Okay.
He doesn't have to get the minimum.
Good to know.
Guys on some practice squads, because the team feel like they're valuable, well, they get close to roster salary, just so you know. So he can negotiate up.
So Cam Ward and Brandon Allen will be your two quarterback locks. I do still think that if certain quarterbacks become available who have familiarity with the offense and with the organization, maybe a Jake Browning could be added, but I think Jake Browning's going to win that battle over Desmond Ridder for QB2 in Cincinnati.
I think he just got hurt, too. Didn't he? Did Jake Browning just get
Jake
injured?
Browning injury? I did not see that. Maybe he did,
It was
but
this past weekend.
I did not see that over
You
social
were
media.
busy doing real work. Well, I'm one out here playing around on the sidelines.
Jake
and stuff.
Browning, no, I'm not seeing anything on
wasn't a
social media
backup?
about that.
You thinking of Aiden O'Connell?
Aiden O'Connell. That's
Yeah,
fractured
no, that's
his wrist.
Vegas.
That's on me.
Vegas.
That's on me.
I think that also, by the way, just a quick aside, is the kind of team that if Will Levis was healthy would be calling about Will Levis right now.
I saw our good friend Austin Stanley light the world on fire a little bit yesterday. But
Did he?
He had a take on that one.
Did he?
Yeah, he did, and he backed it up. He was just like, "This will be a trade scenario where Will Levis could go somewhere." And somebody was like, "This is the old Tennessee." He was like, "No, that bump that he showed before he went to surgery, that's been there since college. He just started. He used that as sympathy. As I'm alluding to what Austin Stanley said this past weekend. That bump was showed to the media coming out of college.
Yeah, I think the vibe from Levis's camp was that he wasn't. The Titans didn't have a lot of incentive to trade him. That incentive could change quickly when certain quarterbacks get hurt around the league, and we'll never know. So anyway, that's a quick aside.
Yep.
Running back, I think there are 4 locks.
I did 4-2. Whew.
If Tajay Spears is healthy, it's Tony, Tajay, Julius Chestnut, and Khalil Mullings. Mullings, a draft pick. I think Mullings may be inactive to start the season on game day.
I agree.
Just again, because if you're going to be asked to play running back on game day in the NFL, you've got to be more adept at pass protection than he is right now. That's just a process. It's a process for freshmen in college. It's a process for pros. It's not a worry about him. It's not an indictment on him. I just think it's the reality of where you are as a 6th-round running back.
Only 46 active on game day. He ain't that important just yet.
I think wide receiver set in stone, Ramon, and that's shocking to me.
What's your number before I tell you
From
mine?
7.
I got 7 too. Okay.
There's 7 receivers making this roster, and we know who they are. It's Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, Chim DK, Elikiah Manor, Bryce Oliver, and James Prochet.
Boy,
Those are your wide receivers.
You didn't slip me your test. That's exactly what
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's really even that much up for debate. Like, I don't think there's an 8th guy here that's really pushing any of those 7. Like, it feels like there is legitimate separation there for those 7 to be your wide receivers.
And so when I spoke about like what they are as a group is solid. Like the ones behind them, I don't think checks the box with those guys. So like I don't know if there's anybody else that deserves to be over those guys we just named. Jaquan, no, not even on the receiver. I mean, not on the return side.
I mean, I think Jaquan Jackson probably is the 8th guy
I think he's practice squad.
because of the value he brings you on special teams. I agree.
Yep.
Xavier Estrepo is a practice squad guy.
Can we appease the fans just a little bit of the fan base they have, just a smidge? Does Mason Kinsey make it back to practice squad?
If Mike Vrabel doesn't want him, then maybe.
Okay, there we go. I think there's a strong chance for him and Restrepo.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, all right.
I agree. At tight end, I think there are 2 locks, Gunnar Helm and Jake Okonkwo. There's one open spot here. I think David Martin Robinson will make it. I am not 100% sure. I would say 70% sure that David Martin Robinson is on the team.
I got the 2 locks as Chig and Gunnar Helm. And I'm going DMR as my guy because I think this team sides more with guys who are readily available. And DMR seems to be durable and a better blocker at the line of scrimmage over time. But I got 2 locks, though. And that's Gunnar and Chig.
I like it.
So somebody asked the question, too, is Chig a good blocker? I think he's serviceable as a starter.
I think he's gotten better as a blocker.
Because he's a starter, you overlook his deficiency some. Yes.
I was talking to somebody about that the other day, that he has really taken a step in that department, and you can see him working with Luke Stocker a lot, one-on-one blocking.
Yeah.
Clearly, I think there's an understanding from Chig Okonkwo that if he's going to continue to be tight end 1 and earn a new contract, he's got to add that element to his game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I do think he is a serviceable blocker. Yep. I think he's good enough there to give you some confidence.
He ain't George Kittle, but he's
right.
He ain't dogging it out there.
So that's 2 locks at tight end, bringing us to 15. At tackle, Ramon, I think Oli Udoh is the 3rd guy, but I know J.C. Latham and Dan Moore are obviously on the roster. Yeah. I don't think there are any locks beyond that. I think what's going to happen is Oli Udoh makes the roster as the swing tackle. I think Jalen Duncan is playing for another team. I think he gets picked up and doesn't make the initial 53. I think Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon sticks on the practice squad. I think John Ojukwu is the guy whose status is totally up in the air. They like him.
I put him on.
Did you? You put him in as a lock?
I got 9 offensive linemen.
I think they keep 9 as well. I think John Ojukwu is probably on the team. I do think he does add some value as the extra tight end.
That's why.
Because if you're only keeping 3 tight ends, John Ojukwu can be your jumbo package extra guy beside a tackle.
If Kush starts the season off, I think they probably go 8 active offensive linemen on game day.
Agreed.
And those 8
You have
to
one
me,
extra.
Yep. Is Juku for his tight end abilities.
Yep.
Corey Levin, center, and then you got Oli Udoh. In my personal opinion, that's a tackle.
I think Blake Hance is up on game
You
days.
think Blake is?
Because Blake Hance has played every position but center. He's played left tackle, left guard, right tackle.
Okay.
I think there is legitimate depth there. I just think we haven't seen him much at tackle because they wanted to see what these other tackles were. So we've seen him more at guard. I think Blake Hance might be the team's 6th offensive line.
You think so? Okay.
Yep.
Over Corey at center?
No, I don't know about that.
Okay.
But
as far as importance,
as far as because he could play every other position. Corey Levin could just play center.
Here's the thing.
I guess he could play guard too, but they're not going to need him to this year.
Oli Udoh's 7 years in this thing, so you got experience.
Oli Udoh's played a lot of football.
Okay.
Oli Udoh's played a lot of football. 57 games of experience in 6 years, 6'6", 320. 14 games for New Orleans last year.
I had 10, and Jalen was my questionable.
I think Jalen has the tools and traits to be picked up on waivers by somebody else.
I'm with you there.
I think Jalen Duncan has taken major strides. I think he's a good story if he makes the team as someone that can contribute long term. I just think that he's going to have value elsewhere where you're not going to be able to push him towards the practice squad.
If he's cut,
I think he'll make somebody else's 53.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. So J.C. Latham and Dan Moore are our 2 locks there. I do think they keep 4 tackles, though. Kevin Zeitler, Peter Skoronski, Blake Hance, and Jackson Slater are my 4 locks at guard. Lloyd Cushenberry and Corey Levin are locks at center.
I didn't put Slater on my list.
Draft pick?
I should
Oh, no,
have,
they love
but
Slater.
I didn't.
Yeah, no, Slater's a lock.
So here
Slater's a lock.
Here are my 9 real quick. Dan, Peter, Cush, Zeitler, JC, Ojukwu, Udoh, Blake Hance, Corey Levin.
That was 10.
No.
10 was Slater. Yeah,
10 was Slater.
Ramon said 9.
I said 9.
I was counting.
Yeah.
I
said
can't
9.
count them.
I mean, that's never mind.
That's why I'm back here.
I had 9 because I wasn't sure on Slater.
Jackson Slater's making the team.
He's on it, so we got we're going with 10.
So I'm going 9. J.C. Latham, Dan Moore, Oli Udoh, Kevin Zeitler, Peter Skoronski, Blake Hance, Jackson Slater, Lloyd Cushenberry, Corey Levin. I don't think Ojukwu is a lock by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
No.
I just looked at how he was used, and they continue to do the same thing with him. We'll see.
I think Oli Udoh is your swing tackle. Defense. It's very much like us, Ramon, to spend so much time with the offense that we have 5 minutes spent on defense.
You ready? All right, I'll go quick.
Defensive line, locks. 4 locks for me at defensive line. We are at 25 locks, by the way, on offense in terms of who we feel like is set in stone to make I'm not counting Udoh as a lock to make it. Defensive line, Jeffrey Simmons, Tavondre Sweat, Sebastian Joseph Day, James Lynch are locks.
Yep, that's it.
Defensive line, I think, is another position where they could add on waivers. Cam Horsley is your UDFA run stopper. Timmy Horn got a lot of run with the ones without Tavondre Sweat on the field. So I think Timmy Horn is the veteran they feel best about to begin. Carlos Watkins has some more pass rushing chops from the interior. I think, again, that's where if the right guy becomes available, that's your 5th defensive lineman. Or you could throw in one of those 3 guys I just mentioned, Cam Horsley, Timmy Horn, or Carlos Watkins. If you want the best pure run stopper, Cam Horsley might make it as an undrafted out of Boston College.
I ain't mad at it. He's played in a college defense. He's been very disciplined, right?
Linebacker is interesting because I think there's one second-year guy who could be out the door here. I don't know if Jalen Harrell is making this team.
I put him on because he's had some production. On my list, I put him on.
What
teams.
What production?
He's log sacks in the last 2 games. I know they jumped, but he's not a consistent in the middle of the rotation guy, but I look at him as a special teamer. He's of the right size. He contributes in that area. Punt protection is where he needs to thrive. He's that linebacker type to me where you keep him, or if James is not in or Cedric in. Like, he's depth to me.
17 games played last year, 13 tackles, 2 TFLs. He did not have a quarterback sack last season.
He's a teamer.
So at linebacker, I have as locks Cody Barton, Cedric Gray, James Williams. They're going to get another linebacker on waivers. That is the thing I am most confident about. It's going to happen. Yeah. So that's 3 inside linebackers who are locks. Then at edge, Femi Oladejo, Arden Key, Draymond Jones, Jihad Ward.
I threw Jalen on there.
I don't think Jalen Harrell's a lock. I really don't. Again, I think this is where, if we're talking about the 53 guys who are here, then Jalen Harrell is the 53 out of the 91 who are on the roster right now. But I think that's a position where they could add help.
I can see that.
And go find somebody else.
He was questionable. He was a late add, too, for me. Mm-hmm. So he shouldn't be a lock.
I think he's more likely than not to make it, but I wouldn't call him a lock. Yeah. At corner, I think there are 5 locks. L'Jarius Sneed, Roger McCreary, Jarvis Brownlee, Marcus Harris, Daryl Baker. Gabe Judy-Lally is probably making it. But again, I think if they can find a backup nickel to Roger McCreary, they would add at corner there. There just hasn't been enough consistency beyond the starters at corner to say that anyone aside from the young draft guys are locks.
Yeah, I got the same, 5 that you got.
Okay. At safety, I went back and forth on this one. This was my 49th guy out of my 49 locks. And again, just for the sake of getting it out of the way, 3 specialists, Morgan Cox, Joey Sly, Johnny Hecker.
Exactly.
Longest field goal in Nissan Stadium history kicked over the weekend by Joey Sly. Well, I mean, preseason or regular season. Okay. It was the longest in Nissan Stadium history. Like, actually. Amani Hooker, Xavier Woods, Kevin Winston, Quandre Diggs, for sure. I think Mike Brown's making the team, too. Mike Brown's a good special teamer.
I ain't have him on my list.
He's the one I went back and forth on.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they're going to play 3 safeties so much means that you can easily justify keeping 5 safeties.
And you're asking Diggs to play closer to the line of scrimmage more than anything, right?
I think Diggs is, I say this as like a plan thing, not in terms of what actually happened. I think their plan for Quandre Diggs is probably similar to what the plan for Jamal Adams was last year, to have specific ways to use him just to get him on the field in the same kind of packages for the season. So that's 49 guys, what I've got. If you don't have Mike Brown on there and you have Jalen Harrell, that's 49 for you as well.
Yeah.
I think that's about right. I think there are about 49 to 50 guys who are definitely on the team right now, which leaves you 3 spots to add in waivers. I think that's about right.
Where and who they come from, the last ones. Do you waiver?
Linebacker is one that you're going to add on waivers. I think defensive line could be another. I think corner could be another one. And tight end or running back is your 4th one. I feel pretty good about that.
I feel good about the running backs, though. Me personally.
Well, Tajay Spears' health. That's why. If Tajay's not available for week 1, I think they add a running back. Yeah. I don't think Jamar Jefferson and Jordan Mims is making the team.
No.
I saw somebody in our chat said that about Jamar Jefferson. With all due respect to Jamar, I mean, he played 7 games as a rookie in 2021, and then that's been about it. He's got 15 carries for 74 yards in his career. I think you could find more production out there at running back. So there you go. I feel good about that.
That was a solid exercise.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? 615-737-1045. You can let us know where you think we are right or wrong on our roster locks to make the Tennessee Titans. Coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. If you like most people around here, this summer your AC was working overtime to keep your house cool and comfortable. Well, guess what? You can get ready to change that. You can replace your old or builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. Best thing about Window Nation is it's a one-time installation. That's because they measure 3 times to ensure your windows fit perfectly and keep your home comfortable year-round, Will.
And this month, Ramon, you get 50% off all window styles. You put 0 down, you make 0 payments, you can pay 0 interest for 2 years. You can pay nothing until 2027 with our friends at Window Nation. We trust and love working with Window Nation because you get that A-plus rating for the Better Business Bureau. You get a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory, and you get a 20-point inspection of every window when it's installed. You're going to save money on that electric bill. Your AC unit's not going to be working as hard. You got to get Window Nation on your team. 866-90-NATION, the number to call. Hurry, this sale ends soon. Head online to windownation.com. You can call them at 866-90-NATION. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee, a game week for the Tennessee football Vols. It's also just a crazy game week in college football. As good of a week one as we've had in quite some time. Stephen Godfrey's going to join us in studio in 15 minutes.
Hey.
Ready to talk some college football with us here for hour number 3. So we've got that for you coming up in just a few. But we go back to the phones. Where were we right or wrong for our roster locks for the Tennessee Titans? We've got 49 of them. Ramon and I are pretty much identical with one player different. Let's go to Eric up next on the phones. What's up, Eric?
Morning, Eric.
Morning, guys.
What's going on?
Well, I don't disagree with either one of y'all. I do like all y'all's picks, but I'm calling because I'm the guy that called last week and just ran it on Jefferson for all of his drops in the preseason. So I'd like to come and say that he did a wonderful job in the game 3, making his catches, the touchdown run, all that was what you expect from a veteran receiver like him.
Man. Eric, you know what?
It takes a big man to admit you're wrong, live on a Marconi Award finalist radio station, but Eric has done that this morning.
Front of the line for you, Eric. We need more people to be able to just say, you know what, that's my bad. I was an IE, as Coach Mack liked to call them, okay? Instant evaluators.
Thank you for the call, Eric.
Eric, seriously, I appreciate that because players get bad reps, from time to time, and I think it's unjustified. I thought it was from Van Jefferson this past week, but man righted his wrongs.
Van Jefferson's on the 53-man roster.
He's on the 53-man roster. Mm-hmm. No, Eric ain't buying a jersey yet, but that was real cool. I ain't gonna lie. I as somebody that's played and been criticized from time to time like that, and we all get criticized. I love it when people are like, that's on me. That's my bad.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree. I think he is certainly in good position. So that's honestly been the biggest surprise to me, Ramon, of camp, is just how much those wide receivers kind of separated themselves. Yeah. Because I think we felt like entering camp, Xavier Restrepo had a pretty decent shot, but he's a practice squad guy.
His measurables caught up to him.
It did. It did.
I think we see the difference in, I say this respectfully, the top 1% or top 2%, I guess, depending on what your team needs, and the others. Like, I've met numerous college stars, you know what I'm saying? Guys that balled out and they get to the next level and it just doesn't match like that when the pool gets a little bit concentrated.
Some guys play like they're testing shows.
Yeah.
Some guys, what they put on film, on paper at the NFL Combine, the game speed is different. Unfortunately for Xavier Restrepo, the 4.840 looks legit.
Yeah.
It does. It does. I mean, it's just the reality of the situation, and he's become somewhat of a folk hero, and I understand why. I understand why fans love him. I understand why fans are infatuated with the production and with the chemistry with Cam Ward. I am too. I still am. Yeah. And just because a guy doesn't make a 53 out of camp in his first year as well doesn't mean his career is over by any stretch of the imagination. So we're not giving a eulogy on Xavier Restrepo's NFL career. There's still a lot of good football for him left to be played. It's just I would be very surprised if he was on this roster right away here.
But two things I guess we can look at. A 1-to-1, essentially, Will. Bryce Oliver, undrafted. Xavier Restrepo. We're seeing Bryce Oliver turn himself into a NFL receiver. What teams are looking for. He has the speed. Yes, he has the size, and he's taking advantage of those opportunities. Like, to be quite honest with you, that was one of the reasons why I went undrafted, was speed. But you know what, Will? I don't play a speed position. I play a power position. I ran a 5.5 and a 5.6 at tackle. That's not NFL tackle speed. That was my knock. That wasn't NFL tackle speed, which is why when I look at his speed and where he was measured at, Will, there's not another position for Xavier Restrepo unless he was 6'2", 6'3", and played tight end. I could move in to play guard, right? I wasn't an NFL tackle.
Yeah, there's no other position change that he can make.
Exactly. That's the difference.
Right. Over the weekend, other NFL headlines. A lot of talk about Shedeur Sanders. Again, 3 of 6, 14 yards. He was sacked 5 times. He led the Browns to 1 first down in his 5 series. You can already hear Ramon Foster just sighing, rolling his eyes, shaking his head. According to Pro Football Focus, Shedeur Sanders had the slowest time to throw in the entire NFL this preseason. He held the ball for an average of 3.96 seconds. Are you moved by this? Do you care?
I don't.
I don't either. It's preseason.
And no matter what I say, again, I'll say this again. I was Team Shador. In the earlier parts of this offseason draft season when it was between him and Cam, I see the difference now. I see the same players that Coach Stefanski was running for, Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, to Shador Sanders, and he didn't get the ball out. I also saw him do what he did at Colorado. His biggest flaw is thinking that he can save every play.
He takes too many sacks.
And I love that mindset. But when you go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 36 or 2nd and 34 because you lost 24 yards on the scramble backwards, this isn't the NFL. I mean, this isn't college anymore.
Right.
That's the separator right there. Say what you want to about Dylan Gabriel this past weekend. That's what, like, he got the ball out. He was accurate when you needed him to be. He almost got one of his wide receivers decapitated by throwing too high. But he took care of the football.
Scoop on YouTube says that line they put in front of Shador was criminal. Yeah, it's preseason NFL football. What do you expect?
You know what I say, Scoop?
All of them are criminal.
That's why I always wanted to move up the depth chart.
That's why you got to throw the dang ball, man. Listen, here's the thing. He's got to throw the ball quicker, but also, again, like, it's preseason. I wasn't moved by his great performance either. You know why? It's preseason. No, there's no game plans. If you've got stuff you want to work on, and the defense has stuff they want to work on to figure out what their cornerback 5 looks like or their edge rusher 6 looks like, they're going to run certain plays to expose strengths or weaknesses on things they want to learn about. Sometimes that matches up with on-field success. Sometimes it doesn't. So what? Make mistakes, get experience, take reps, get hit, throw picks, throw touchdowns. I don't care. I mean,
also,
there's individual development that has to be done, but like the result at the end of the day just kind of is what it is. Like, it's just preseason was not meant to be so results oriented. And when guys fail or succeed, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Also, coaches like putting you in those bad spots to see how you will elevate other people.
100%.
That is, like, I hated working with, I ain't gonna say I hated working with the backup quarterback, but the backup quarterback ain't like the starter. And it's on us, the guys up front and the guys surrounding him, to elevate him. There's also that portion of it that you're judged by, too. Are you only good when you're a front runner? I hate front runners. I absolutely despise front runners. Show me what you are when the chips are stacked against you.
Another YouTube comment says, let's be real, Shador got treated the worst we've ever seen in the NFL from start to finish. What are we doing?
You know who?
What are we doing? Well, from what we've heard, he needs to treat the NFL better in meetings at the draft process, and he'll be treated better.
I got one that'll one up
Give
that
me a
one.
break.
I would throw Traylon Burks in that conversation. Respectfully. I would throw Traylon Burks in there with the idea that he had to come and be A.J. Brown from a coach that demanded a lot of him for a guy that wasn't ready for the show at that time. I would throw him in there. In Nashville, I would throw Will Levis in that conversation. 100%. There's so many. What I'm saying is there are so many guys that are in these spots, and it's on you to grab life by the horns or the league by the horn and show that, look, I belong here. Screw your scenario. From my positioning, Will, I have zero sympathy for anybody that comes into this league as a draft pick that doesn't get doesn't take what they think they deserve. I'm sorry, but this league is what you get out of it. Period.
Well said. Coming up, Stephen Godfrey talking college football, previewing week 1. Coming up next. So you're worried because your home has been on the market for quite a while. You didn't have any success getting it sold. An expired listing is frustrating, but it doesn't have to be the end of your journey. Hey, it's Will Bowling. My friend Bernie Gallerani with Bernie Gallerani Real Estate has proven marketing strategies to get your property in front of the most qualified buyers to get you top dollar for your home. Don't think there's something wrong with your house and that's why it's not selling. You just need an expert. You just need my friend Bernie Gallerani. Bernie Gallerani has more than 200 5-star Google reviews and over 1.3 billion in properties sold. When it comes to customer satisfaction and results, numbers like that don't lie. To get started, just Google Bernie Gallerani Real Estate or go to BernieGallerani.com. When you're ready to get some real results, Bernie is ready to help. Just go to BernieGallerani.com to get started. In fact, Bernie is so confident about his ability to help you, he's going to give you his personal cell phone number, 615-428-2644, online at BernieGallerini.com. Call him at 615-428-2644.
It is 8:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans concluded the 2025 preseason with a 23-13 win over the Minnesota Vikings Friday night and complete a 2-1 overall record for the preseason. The Titans have yet to make any roster cuts ahead of Tuesday's 3 p.m. Central deadline, but many teams across the league have already begun making their cuts. The Titans continue to hold the top spot in waiver claims. In NFL news, the Minnesota Vikings, after trading quarterback Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, are signing veteran quarterback Carson Wentz to back up second-year man J.J. McCarthy. Wentz joins his sixth team in 6 years. In Las Vegas, the Raiders backup quarterback Aiden O'Connell suffered a fractured wrist in Saturday's preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals. The injury will require surgery, and O'Connell is expected to miss the next 6 to 8 weeks. And Nashville Soccer Club returns to the win column with a 5-1 win over Orlando City SC Saturday night. Sam Surridge had a brace and became the second player in club history to score 20 goals in a season, joining Hani Mukhtar, who scored 23 back in 2022. Speaking of Mukhtar, the forward recorded his 10th assist, which marks his 5th consecutive season with 10-plus assists, and is the 4th player in MLS history to do so. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Into hour number 3, second half of the show, from Titans preseason discussion to college football week 1. We are ready to watch some good college football this weekend. Ramon Foster is present and accounted for. Justin Hawkins, our producer. I'm Will Bowling, joined by our good friend Stephen Godfrey, Yahoo Sports College Football Inquirer, where you get him wherever you download podcasts. We made it, Godfrey. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Guess what? I'm going to hijack the segment right away.
Go for
I
it.
have a column due for the Washington Post tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Oh,
You
okay.
got nothing?
We're going to figure it out in here. Okay?
Let's go.
Okay, sweet.
Because they were like, we want you to sort of kick off the season and figure out what, like, vibe check.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do for
Oh,
the
all
next
right.
hour.
Big idea column of the entire college football season.
And now keep in mind it's Washington Post, so everyone's very highly educated, so you got to speak real slow to them so they understand
let's
it.
see.
All right? It's the dumbest smart people in the world.
Yes. I love that you just keep it real like this, man.
I try.
Why Archbishop? Oh, was it Archbishop? Not Archbishop Carroll. Oh, I'm going to remember the high school later. Why
In D.C.?
the DMV's own Nicholas Harbor could be an outside candidate to win?
No. None
the-
of them are from there.
Oh, okay,
This is
perfect.
all,
Never
it's basically just all the Michigan fans that move there, Notre Dame fans. And you got to explain like why kids should be paid.
Perfect.
But, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Why does everybody keep saying if James Franklin don't mess it up? How come he can't just have a strong team?
I think that you're off to a good start there, because I think there's an interesting story about two coaches, Godfrey, who we as college football people have given up on as national title contenders.
Okay.
Who are national title contenders this year? James
Go on.
Franklin at Penn State, Dabo Swinney at Clemson.
Yes. Dabo even more so, I think, too, as of late.
Two coaches in similar situations.
All right.
Who are seen now as can't win the big one coaches, who have upgraded their staffs to high-level coaching staffs.
Well, there's a big difference. I don't cut you off.
Okay.
Dabo has titles.
Well, that's true.
Okay. Yeah.
But we as college football people have given up and put that in the past and said, oh, if you don't know the portal exists,
And
you're
why did we do that? Because Dabo came out and said, no more modernity. I hate it's going to be tradition. I don't want to pay him. I don't want to transfer him. We're going to home grow him. By the way, and that also went for his staff too. That was one of the under recognized parts of that disaster was
Right.
he wanted to he didn't want to go and compete and get the Jim Knowles type coordinator to come in. Except this offseason, possibly one of the best situations in terms of improving sides will be that Clemson defense under Tom Allen, because they were good last year. They were just really young, and they weren't maybe in the right position or place because of the previous defensive coordinator, homegrown guy, one of the former Venables assistants. And they've decided to join the modern game. And now, I don't know if because y'all both work a lot more in NFL media. And the preseason cycle is such where, like, you get to a point where you start talking yourself into weird things. I assume that's where y'all are at with it. Like, right now, where it's just
we're
like...
doing linebacker 4 and cornerback 6 battles for the Titans.
Right.
Now.
We're talking about that
in
off
the
air.
weeds.
Yeah.
We're at a point in the preseason where people are in college going into this week where people are talking themselves into Clemson as like a Final Four national championship game team. I don't know if I'm there, but that's the way the last 2 weeks has felt.
Yeah. I got another headliner for you. If you want to talk about like baby steps with the Washington Post too. Why does the NCAA put big marquee games on if that by the end of the season they don't matter anymore? I'm looking at like this game you just mentioned, Clemson, LSU. I'm looking at Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah, it's a great weekend.
It's a fun, but
As good a week 1 as we've had in a long time.
by the time
at least 5 years.
Yeah.
By the time we're college football playoff selection committee, they'll say this won't matter because that team is different. So why even play it now and play it later?
Okay, so there was an announced adjustment, which really wasn't an adjustment into the deliberation of the committee. They talked about it last week. There's too many headlines in college football right now.
This flew under the radar.
We're very fatigued. But they talked about what they essentially said in like a bunch of lawyerly pablum was strength of schedule is going to matter a lot. This is, I think, a clarification and a lean in. It just so happened to come out as the SEC was increasing the conference game schedule. Amazing how these things happen, as if there's a conspiracy. That will help your concern. Okay. I think that will help where. All right, let's take Kansas State, Iowa State, week 0.
Great game, by the way, too.
Top 25 teams, right? Conference opponents, willingness to move a week 0 game, go to Ireland, be a showcase. Brent Yormark, all about that publicity because he's trying to close the gap. I don't think K-State will be dinged. I don't think they should be. Let's say K-State runs the table from here on out. I don't have their schedule in front of me. Let's just say the loser of that game, lost by 3, was fairly even, right? Had the better quarterback. No offense to Rocco Beck, but like that was a team I thought maybe top 3 chance to win the Big 12. Yeah. Let's say they still do. They're not. I don't think they're going to be dinged for that 1 loss. Let's say they win the Big 12 with 2-3 losses, or now let's get into. Let's say they have 2 losses. They lose the Big 12 championship game to whomever, right? And now we're looking at an at-large bid. Do you think a 3-point loss in week 0 is going to hurt them against a then top 25 team? I don't think so. So to the Texas-Ohio State point, or any of these big games you're talking
LSU Clemson.
I think both those teams could and probably will make the playoffs.
Still,
although I don't want to say that on the radio because I like messing with LSU about Brian Kelly. Like, I want to continue to torture them.
But that was the conversation we had. Was it last year with the NC State conversation? At the time, they were ranked.
Right, like when Tennessee beat NC State last year, that's a ranked win. In November, I don't look anything close to a ranked win. Now, did you expose weaknesses in that team that other teams can then expose? Sure.
No, you expose that sports writers are idiots, and I mean, it's
but it's mainly that part. Yeah. Exactly. It's the fact that
but the committee's washing that out,
and I like that.
If K-State loses to Iowa State, and so that whole scenario I just built. Iowa State's a 4-loss team or a 5-loss team. Okay, now we're starting to consider it differently. Scheduling intent was a word that was used a lot in the 4-team and the BCS era. Scheduling intent is a real thing. What we want to see is we want to see you go out and make an effort. And if you are the sort of like no one ever puts an actual label on it, but if you're the premier class of college football, you're Texas, Ohio State, and you schedule like Texas, Ohio State, on top of everything else you got to play, the committee's not going to punish you if you are respectable in that game. So let's say one of those 2 teams with all the variables going on, the replacement on Ohio State's defense, Arch really starting a real game for the first time. No offense to you, Louisiana Monroe. Go Warhawks. But let's say one of those 2 things goes sideways, and it's like a 14 or 17-point differential in the end. I don't think either one of those programs is really going to be punished if they can comport themselves and move through the rest of the season effectively. And here's my question to y'all. Should they? We want these games.
We do. We need to have reason to play
So
Texas, Ohio State.
I don't want to punish LSU for going to Clemson, do I?
And these games are on college campuses. What a concept.
Most of them are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I think to me, the story of this season is the unprecedented amount of teams who can win the national title. Yes. Since Nick Saban started coaching at Alabama, is this the most amount of teams who could feasibly win it all this year?
I'm also okay with, again, I keep going back to this game because we played one this weekend. the loser, K-State, could still be in the playoff.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
insane.
100%.
But that's okay, right? Are we all okay with this now?
I'm okay with that.
I'm becoming more
that one,
okay
yes.
with it because it does diminish the value of the regular season that's about to be watered down even more when there's a 16-team playoff.
All right, well, let me use like a homegrown example then. For years, y'all, being Vols, would go in, play Florida in September, maybe lose. And then that's it.
Maybe.
That's your season.
That was
We're
it.
getting ready. We're getting
Yes.
ready to spell citrus, baby, aren't we?
100%. Yes, I agree with you there.
So why not reward all the programs and all the coaches? And we are fairly ball knowing in this room. Should you be our ball knowingness is above the median?
To your point,
Shouldn't you
though,
reward good Novembers?
But that was an old system in place, man, that rewarded you for having great stretches of wins down
Yeah.
the line,
Yeah.
separations of scores. What was the name? It was three letters. BCS. I remember losing games.
as bad as we
You know
thought.
what I'm saying? Like earlier in the season, like we'd lose Florida,
Yeah.
but then we reel off Georgia. You beat that, like you beat, like there was wins along the way that like got you back to like we weren't as bad as week 3 said we were.
Correct.
Like, and
That's
to
the
your
beauty of the
point,
system.
That's the beauty of the system.
But it's
right
also
there.
the beauty of the business because now you have engaged listeners and viewers in our world, in sports media, but also in the consuming audience. I know this from running a subscription-based business in college football for 7 years. PhantomIsland.show. Sign up today. You can go and see August is Christmas Eve because everybody's undefeated. And what used to happen to us was by October, you would just see blocks fall off because people are like, screw it, man. We're Liberty Bowl season this year, right? Whatever.
I hate that feeling.
And now, if we keep more of the haves engaged through December, that's better for everybody. Period. Full stop. I think.
I think where I've become more okay with it is teams playing meaningful games in November who actually have a chance to win the national championship. Like that's my issue with it before was like, okay, yes, we have more of the country engaged, but how many of those markets actually have a shot to even just, let's say, make the Final Four?
Okay, so don't make a lot of noise if you've lost to a really bad Oklahoma team and you struggle to beat South Carolina at home.
Yeah.
Is that team maybe?
That team, I think, can win the Natty this year. Last year, they had no shot of going on they're so inconsistent.
I just wanted to flip it and be
100%.
abrasive just because we heard from. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think it was everyone said, oh, SMU didn't belong in the playoff. Dog, they didn't lose to Oklahoma.
Right.
I still go back to that. And I don't, by the way, I don't think the 9 game, I think it's great we're on 9. That's fine. We're still going to have these type problems at the end of the year.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Stephen Godfrey in studio with us. I have so much stuff on this list that I know we're only going to get to have to, but we'll do our best. A week 1 preview. Tennessee, Syracuse, Ohio State, Texas, LSU, Clemson. There's Bama, Florida State. Auburn is playing the Texas version of themselves on a Friday. Auburn and Baylor are the same school. You can't convince me otherwise. One's just in Alabama, one's in Texas.
One's a public, one's a private church school. You know, the wireless mics and the guitars.
Perfectly well said.
The carefully ripped jeans.
We'll get around the fire and sing Chris Tomlin songs.
Guys,
Talk Auburn and Baylor.
Let me tell you about another MVP.
Stephen Godfrey, our MVP. We'll talk college football with him coming up next.
Ward.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. You're getting into football season. You're getting into snack season. Look, you got to have the right menu ready for the tailgates, ready for the watch parties that are going to be happening on Friday, on Saturday. There's Sunday games. I want to tell you about my new obsession. It's Daisy French onion dip. This stuff is fantastic. One of my guilty pleasures during football season, it's the dips. I chip myself to death all the time when I'm watching football, whether it's chips, whether it's wings, whether it's veggies that tend to sneak in there from time to time as well. While watching the big game, you got to pair that up with Daisy French onion dip. Daisy has come out with this delicious Daisy French onion dip, the Daisy Ranch dip as well. I'm telling you, they are a game changer. Tastes homemade. Somebody put it down in front of you. You put it in just a random bowl, right? A Tupperware. You think, oh, well, you can impress somebody at the party because it's going to taste homemade. It's going to taste like you are in the kitchen putting this stuff together. Real herbs and spices, other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. It's at a grocery store near you. Don't be hungry this football season. Make sure you check it out. Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you. Go the pros, go Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply and Will Bowling. Joined this morning by my friend Trey Hartsook. Trey, fall is getting closer. We're playing football, but we're still dealing with this Middle Tennessee heat. If our grass is turning colors, how can you guys, with the best advice around, help out Middle Tennessee to take care of their lawn as the summer comes to an end?
Hey, Will, yeah, man. So that's something that we deal with here in Tennessee a lot, growing a cool season turf, which is fescue, in a warm season environment, which is Nashville in June, July, August. But there are some things you can do to keep that lawn healthy. And it all starts with what kind of soil structure do you have? Because you'll see in lawns that are very compacted that they're the ones that go the quickest. The Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, if you follow that 12-step turf plan that we have, if you haven't used them and you've had these issues in the past where you're kind of burning out in the summertime, stop in to see us conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us online, DickensSupply.com.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Pumpkin at Scooter's Coffee is there. It feels like fall a little bit now. Justin, are we allowed to have pumpkin drinks now that it feels like fall a little bit?
I'll allow it.
All right, thank you.
But just wait till next week when it warms back up.
Okay, well.
Oh, next week we're still good.
No, I think we're literally getting an early fall. Yeah. It's supposed to be Stephen Godfrey in studio with us. I'm
here.
Listening last night to a podcast
plug anything in?
that said the low in Columbus is in the 40s for Saturday morning.
I believe that.
I let the dog out this morning, and I don't know if y'all have this queued up on the soundboard. Do you know the Fox da-da-da-da-da, like the NFL noise?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I opened the door, I heard it, and I was like, yes.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
We're not sweating at 5:45.
Texas, I don't recommend you take the field for warm-up shirtless. That didn't work for the real UT back in December, but maybe
won't be
you can
that
do it,
cold,
but-
though.
No, definitely not.
Well, what's wrong with you? Yo, Jayhawk,
So
we
much.
good next week, man. We talking about a high of 82. I don't know who.
we're chilling.
That's what
We're
I'm
back,
talking about.
baby.
I mean,
Hey,
82
Godfrey,
still.
Those of us above 200 pounds.
Listen, it's our time, Godfrey.
That's right.
I'm talking about, I've already been looking at crew necks. Do
That's
you
what I'm
understand?
saying. Hey, man.
I was on built and
Let's
ball
go.
traditions already looking at
let's go.
stuff. Do you hear me?
No
like
more
it.
back sweat.
Listen.
Get a little layering.
Comfortably sit outside. I might even light a fire.
Well,
this
it'll be
weekend.
65 for the Vols game Saturday because it's indoors.
That's also
We already
very
know
true,
that.
too.
Tennessee, Syracuse. Let's start there locally, Godfrey, and we will do a bunch on the bigger games as well. And it's a shame that anyone at Tennessee, Syracuse won't be able to watch Ohio State, Texas, which will be fun. But
It's a deeply personal comment.
I know it is
It comes out from time to time.
true for both of us. Joey Aguilar being
Here we go.
a more accurate deep passer. I've talked myself into the offensive line improving this year based on people we've spoken to who are boots on the ground up there.
Okay.
What is Tennessee's ceiling if Joey Aguilar gives them B-level quarterback play this season?
9.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with
Are
you.
we all good with this?
No, I'm serious. My range in general is 7 to 9.
Yeah.
I think so too.
So what if after everything we went through in the offseason here, I'm now using the editorial we go Rocky Top. I have to live here, so I want some sanity on the streets. All right. What after everything we've been through as a community, if you finished at 9 and maybe you're in the cutoff of the at-large teams, you would consider this year to be a resounding success.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
ReliaQuest Bowl, probably at that point, you beat up another Big Ten team and feel good about going into
No,
2026.
10 wins at the end of the season, that would be phenomenal. Like, considering what happened, like, you can't say, if we're talking about people that's had something traumatic happen.
Right.
Losing I can use that in college sports.
We don't have as much trauma as we
don't.
used to,
No,
but we got a little taste of it again.
That's the point of the conversation.
It flares up from time to time. Like, for a team that lost a starting quarterback middle of the season because of choice and not force, I mean, yes, getting double digits by the end of the year, I think, is a big-time dub.
Oh, God, I just realized Florida's the next to last week.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is
All right,
that
I'm
those three
going to have to
losses
come
are-
in and really turn on the therapy voice that week with y'all.
Listen,
All right.
I ain't got no problem with that. You're welcome anytime. You hear me? I'll pass off my key card to you, Godfrey.
Okay, you know what? That's what I need because I wait outside to get let
Yeah,
in.
sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Come on, station.
We know
Let's
people.
go.
I got you.
No, I agree. I think Florida, Georgia, and Bama being your losses.
Yeah, I'm looking here. and
Oklahoma's a swing game at that point.
Nobody knows.
Man, if that offensive line is
I'm talked like no. I mean like, are they 4 wins? Are they secretly 10? Yeah, sure. Okay.
we'll see.
Like, I just need some football, please God. I've got fatigue on Oklahoma. I'm still bullish on Florida. Oh man, I don't want to say this on Nashville radio. I don't like anything about Georgia's offense right now.
You don't.
You've been consistent on this.
Not even with
now,
Stockton?
no, but I feel like I'm selling y'all drugs right now. Like, you're like, oh, upset in week 3.
Hey, Will,
Like,
watch me. What kind of drugs?
the game's at home. The game's at home.
Week 3.
Oh no.
On top. No, don't know that.
to-
We've gotten a better version of Georgia after they've primed themselves.
It's just the Gunnar Stockton part of it. Like I don't see Gunnar Stockton being the quarterback of a championship level offense. The question is, does Georgia have to have a championship level offense this year?
Here's what's really good for Tennessee. I can't believe I'm doing this on the radio.
You said you weren't
I
going to be
can't believe
the
I'm
one.
doing this on the radio. Marshall and Austin Peay, for some reason I thought they had a more of a, in terms of quality of opponent, like a bridge up. Y'all should be holding stuff back to go into that game. Oh no. Here I am doing it. The one thing I said I wasn't going to do.
See, usually it's us talking ourselves into like, what can they beat Georgia? But we sat here and said 9-3 is the ceiling, and you're the one that brought up the G word.
Sure did. You sure did.
I just think I feel a lot better about Alabama and Florida I'm just looking at the Tennessee schedule now, than I do about Georgia. And the SEC being the SEC, there is a team that we cannot see right now that will probably either take you to the fourth, beat you. You know, you'll have a frustration game. I mean, that's part of the league. That's the brand the league sells.
That's true.
The trick is, though, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Kentucky stopped me. I mean, like,
yeah, it's the easiest schedule in the SEC.
It's probably Vandy.
Oof. Vandy for what?
That game that gives you fits.
The thing about
if
Vandy,
there's injuries into the season,
right.
that's what I'm saying.
Understood.
It's in Knoxville, but I mean, like,
that's my question on Vandy is, as much as Diego Pavia runs around and the way he plays, can you keep him healthy by week 14 for him to even be 50%? Because Tennessee did not seem close to the best version of Vandy last year. Like, that guy was beaten to a pulp by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Now, they invested in the O-line.
Yep.
They get the Liberty transfer. That's going to be a major, major addition for them up front.
Tight end.
Right. Like, Eli Stowers is a dude, but like, what does Diego Pavia look like by the time
what is
he gets
their
to Tennessee?
expectation?
I think a bowl game. 6 wins.
Okay.
But they also are chasing ghosts of last year, too. Because Vandy also got a hit list. Well, they're on a lot of like teams' hit lists, too, going into it. With VTech, with LSU, with
VTech,
Alabama.
hey, that Tech game is
That's what I'm
must win.
saying.
That's a must-win game for Virginia Tech.
I think they get their revenge there.
Yeah.
I think Vandy's a 5-win team this
Can
year.
we also talk about on Nashville radio that stadium's not done? I drove by yesterday.
Really?
They say they don't care. I saw them last week doing a bunch of stuff like the media spin of like, oh, you guys joked us last year. Now look at this beautiful stadium. So it's not done?
No.
Oh.
I just drove by it yesterday.
There's
I
not
live
a
over
crane
there.
holding up a scoreboard anymore.
No,
so
it's not like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Jess Neely is still like a gravel pit. I drove by where I was blocked off yesterday.
They still got a long way to go for that to be close to a top half fan experience.
Come on, Doors.
in
I'm trying
the
here.
SEC.
I said I'm done.
It's come a long way,
It's
but it's got a long
now.
way still to come.
It's football season. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. You can champion me one of the poor.
I'm trying, dude, man.
Okay.
I really am. I've made that sports writer joke for years. I wish they were, national title program because I live next door. I mean, seriously. I'd be like, hey man, I got a top 25, top 15 program that I live next to. I'd be there all the time, and I'll go by this year. I'll probably go by for LSU.
You sound like it's a bar stop. I'll go by. I'll stop by for a little bit.
Then give me then. Hey, this is, by the way, this is not directed at Clark.
Drugs and bars now.
This is not. This segment's going great. This is not directed at Clark. This is not directed at anyone on the coaching staff. Give me a reason. I know they're working there.
It's more the university.
That's what I'm
even
saying.
anyone in athletics. Right. Y'all get the same SEC check as everyone else.
Facts.
Finish the renovation. Like, come on, y'all. But what I'm saying is, like, lock in. Clark would be hired if they would never fire him. I mean, not right now. I'm saying, like, even if things fell apart this year. That's not what I'm saying. Clark is a respected defensive mind.
Facts.
D. Mace had an interesting choice to go to Middle to resume his head coaching career, and I know there's a lot of circumstances around that, but like same with D. Mace.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the X's and O's.
And Jerry
it
Kittle
ain't the
on
Jimmys and
offense.
Joes anymore.
Right. 100%. Ohio State, Texas is really interesting. My question on Ohio State, Godfrey, is do the coordinator losses there on both sides, is that the X factor for a week 1 game against Texas? With Brian Hartline on
definitely.
offense, with Jim Knowles out on defense. To me, I've got major questions about both teams, but I at least know schematically who Texas is. Like, I don't know if Brian Hartline's ready to beat a Texas defense.
To go back to, like, I do have to write some sort of column today. I think what I'm leading with is at the very top, there's so much uncertainty but in the quality brands that we know are going to be some version of good. We just don't know how they're going to be good or great. Ohio State falls into this category. Texas falls in this category. If you go through the top 25, I think we did it the other day on the Yahoo show where I had like 2 of the top 15 programs had like, what that entity is at quarterback.
Yeah.
That may be off. I don't know. It was one of the polls. And then we looked at August of last year and it was almost the reverse. It was like 12 of the teams had names you could instantly put in. And so that's why Texas, Ohio State. Also, I think that's why I'm not a gambling man. I think the over-under is pretty low in that game.
I think you're right.
It's 1.5.
Yeah. I think it's going to be ruddy. I don't know.
It's 1.5 Ohio State.
No,
what's
total.
What's the total?
Total.
Like, I don't think it's much.
Oh, wow.
I'm honestly proud of how long it's taking me to find this because
I
it
know,
means
look at all
I'm
of
not a
us.
gambling
Look
man.
at all of us.
I'm not a gambling man with
Virtuous.
new rules this year.
Well, it's local radio. Somebody's pastor's
sports
listening.
book. Well, that's hallelujah. Meanwhile, Auburn Baylor talk coming up, by the way, in a minute for those of you who are falling in that category. I'm still looking for this and I can't find it.
If you talk Auburn Baylor for 15 minutes, does that count as you went to church this week? I'm Catholic, so it doesn't.
Okay.
But
Makes sense.
yeah.
We're going to coming up stanzas 1, 2, and 4 of "Come as You Are" plus Auburn Baylor talk.
What is wrong with y'all?
We're going to go a cappella on the 4th stanza.
Oh no.
Real quick,
Look, I was raised Southern Baptist. I can say it. Over under is 47.5.
That's not a lot.
47.5 for Texas. That's an NFL total.
Yeah.
For
it
Texas,
is.
Ohio State. And that's
yeah.
an NFL talent that's going to be on the
I'm
field.
gonna try and steer this back into reality. When you look at, there's no look. It's Klubnik versus Nuss in the Death Valley battle.
100%.
I'm not saying it's the whole thing, but when you look around, there's a lot of. I mean, look, 5-star freshman quarterback at Michigan, right? Playoff expectation. We can go around and look at this. So, like the most made in a Georgia peanut petri dish quarterback in the world playing for Georgia. Like, I'm still shocked about that.
He's Stetson Bennett. It's the same guy.
He's more Stetson than Stetson Bennett.
They respawned Stetson Bennett. Maybe this guy graduates.
His face is already on a car dealership, like State Farm billboard outside of Valdosta.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like, I'm from Georgia, and he's so palpably Georgia.
He's going to run an Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Marietta within like 3 years after failing as a practice squad quarterback for the Falcons.
But does he have the surrounding parts to make him what
I think he
was?
does at receiver. The question is Mike Bobo a championship level offensive coordinator?
Why do I still get yelled at for pointing out they're running a 15-year-old offense?
Oh, Lord.
Because the coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens worked his rear end off to make them effective, and they also had a better defense that year.
And Kirby's not adjusted the way Nick did when Nick realized, like, oh, I've got to go get Lane Kiffin to keep winning championships.
He's got DC brain.
This may be the year where he realizes that of like, oh crap, how do I evolve?
I think that then if you realize it too late. I think there's too many homies in the building.
I think you're right. I'm on board with. I believe more. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Alabama may have a better pathway towards Final Four or championship than Georgia, because Alabama brought back a ton of dudes that could have gone pro last year that didn't.
And Grubb's in there now too, which is
Exactly.
like that brain trust that created Michael Penix. Like, I think everybody still has Alabama fatigue. Obviously, we're in Tennessee, but a lot of the on paper moves look better there.
So is college football turned into an offensive league the way the NFL did when Patrick Mahomes came in?
Yes, but yeah, for varying reasons. I don't know if it's the same transition. Part of it is that you just don't have those like two teams with 10 NFL players a year, because the NIL and the portal are picking them off. So instead of having 10 guys on an Alabama defense who are like in it, like there's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of those guys got offered more money from like Ole Miss or A&M, and so we were dispersing. I noticed that a lot last year in the Georgia Ole Miss game.
I was listening the other day to Andy Staples, Ari Wasserman on 3, and I know Andy, who does College Football Inquirer with you, and Ross Dellinger at Yahoo Sports. They were talking about that on their podcast about how in Nick Saban's time at Alabama, they were getting everyone they wanted out of the state of Florida.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wide receiver and DBs, fast skill guys in Florida were going to Bama. Those guys are now going to Miami. Mm-hmm. They're going to Georgia. Yeah. They're going to Ole Miss. They're going to still Alabama.
Yeah.
Clemson still recruits high school very well. So to that point of like the talent is more equally distributed. Like wide receiver, the top 2 receivers in the state of Florida last year are at Florida now. Mm-hmm. Part of Florida's dip is because they weren't recruiting Florida as well. Part of Miami's dip was Nick Saban was coming in, taking guys that in the 90s and early 2000s were going to Miami and going to Florida.
Yeah, and that was Kirby's rise too. Was shutting Atlanta, well, not completely off, but beating Alabama out of Atlanta as much as he could.
Right,
and then but also still winning in Florida.
100%.
But now it's a free market.
It is.
While we're talking about Bama, Florida State, Thomas Castellanos has talked a lot this offseason. Gus Malzahn make a big impact there year one at FSU?
I think he's the adult in the room right now.
Okay.
I mean, but you can't fire Norvell. They can't afford it.
Exactly.
It's a stupid contract. No offense to Norvell.
Got him right.
Jimmy got that. Jimmy, that may be like the Jimmy masterstroke. We're going to talk about Fisher forever. Jimbo Fisher, 77, right? The buyout.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who got their cup of coffee in the 5 days between Saban retiring, like a lot of people ate very well. And hey, no offense, no, I'm not. Get yours, but who's the one? Like nobody's questioning locking up Dan Lanning. Oh, all right. Nobody's questioning locking up any of them dudes except one of them.
That's Norvell.
VFL Jimmy Sexton, Tennessee zone,
running it. What is this?
I mean, like, dude, like a first world GDP that man is responsible for. God bless him.
He's setting the market.
Coming up, LSU, Clemson, Baylor, Auburn. We'll get to those two games we've not yet discussed with Stephen Godfrey in studio next.
Listeners sometimes ask me, what makes advanced hair restoration different? Well, allow me to share along with some details on, get this, man, their once-a-year summer savings event. Advanced Hair stands by the results, and the before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible summer schedule and you've been waiting for this special savings opportunity, it's here, okay? Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details, though, and to schedule your free consultation, call 629-348-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Again, the number is 629-348-HAIR, or visit advancedhair.com. It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, that is the website, man. MedicalHouseCalls.com. 7 days a week. Again, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can get same-day appointments when they're available or next-day guarantee, man. Whether you're trying to get your primary health, urgent care, IV therapy, or medical weight loss. And I know a lot of people just don't like going to the ER and the waiting room is germ-filled or you get germaphobe. Well, you can get at-home urgent care from experts, man. Everything from sickness, infections, injuries, in-home labs, testing, and more. You can also just simply get an IV treatment. It can help you fight the flu, or if you just need a bounce back from a crazy weekend, hydrate yourself. They do all of this, man. If you're feeling fatigue, persistent illnesses, or you just don't have the time to go and wait and sit for somebody to call you to the back, this is what you need to do. Again, they have unlimited house calls. They have 24/7 telehealth, priority IV treatment, and annual physicals if you need them. The website, again, is medicalhousecalls.com, or you can call or text the number 615-838-2375. Medical House Calls.
Wrapping up hour 3 this morning on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Stephen Godfrey talking college football in studio. So, Godfrey, Baylor and Auburn is Friday night, and this is a big one for Hugh Freeze. Why? Maybe not why. That's not the right word. Is Auburn 2025 just going to be Oklahoma 2024? Jackson Arnold at quarterback, lowering the floor of an otherwise pretty decent roster.
Now, I mean, my colleague Andy Staples is now talking about how that was his bold prediction last week, was that they win 9 games.
I just going to have to believe it when I see it on Hugh Freeze. If the reports are true that he's like dumbing down the defense in camp to make Jackson Arnold feel better about himself, major red flag.
I think it's, again, into the preseason. We're all being counterintuitive just because we got nothing else to do.
Totally.
But on a talent level, at wide receiver, at every level of defense, they are more talented than they ever have been under Freeze.
Correct.
That Jackson Arnold is your solution after the previous years of not getting involved in the quarterback market, to me, is a giant red flag. It does not seem to be that way to them. The idea that he's a quarterback whisperer, though, has never really been the case. Call Bo Wallace and ask him. Right. He'd probably tell you. I have a tough time embracing like a 9-win ceiling. And then if it's not 9, we have to start the conversation of like, by Auburn standards, it's a comfortable buyout. And you have John Summerall sitting in New Orleans, ready.
That's what a lot of SEC teams are telling themselves to start the season.
Yeah, well, some of them
got John Summerall.
Some of them ain't getting John Summerall.
Right.
I'll tell you.
Like Kentucky fans have talked themselves into John Summerall being the heir there.
We got chairs in here. They can come sit down. We'll put on the air, and I will walk them through the stages of grief. Do you know how much it costs to fire Mark Stoops?
I know. I mean, talk about
Is it up there?
crazy contracts. Oh, yeah.
Look this up.
Go look it up. And then I'm going to tell you something. Bring it back up at the end of the segment, and then I'm going to tell you a secret about that deal, why it's never going to happen.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Perfect. But a Dave Aranda defense against Jackson Arnold, like that game might end 13-10.
Yeah. There's stress on both staffs.
100%. 100%. Dave Aranda was kind of a quiet Billy Napier last year. Like he was kind of fired and cast off and then just kind of kept winning games down the stretch where it's like, all right, well, now we can't get rid of him.
I like some of the improvements they made on offense. I think he's evened it out a little bit, but I do think there is still, it's weird, it's that like grass is greener, neighborly comparison thing. What if Texas Tech takes off?
It's a really fascinating case study.
Like Texas Tech, I make this joke, and I think I don't know how modern a reference this is, but you remember the 97 Florida Marlins where like they were horrible. They like spent a crazy amount of money. They won a World Series and then they were horrible like the next year.
Yeah.
Is Tech like, we're all kind of watching Texas Tech in a different way, like across the nation, because that will heavily influence a lot of sort of, I don't know so much on the top end of the SEC because like we're all, we're all gangsters at the top of the SEC.
Right.
But if you are in that middle 2 of the Power 4, we got to figure out nomenclature. Dumping cash like that for instant results, how's that going to affect GM and personnel? And I think Baylor, Baylor could do it. Yeah, they have the money.
They do.
So I think there's going to be
Property Bros money.
Yes, and I think there's going to be a
serious.
Was it
Property Bros? Those
Chip,
are
Skip and Joanne.
No, it was Chip and Joanne.
Yeah, Chip and Joanne.
Same thing.
Those guys are Maple Leafs
I
fans.
love them, by the way.
Chip and Joanne, I think, pretty much own Waco.
I'm still 28. I'll get
And they
there.
showed us that they own Waco on their show, too. Love that show, by the way.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
If we had more time, I'd tell you a couple funny Waco jokes. But
Can't wait.
I think there's an anxiety around Baylor of like, we've been steady. He's a well-respected coach. But do we just need to throw a Texas dude in with a crazy, stupid bankroll if this Tech thing takes off? It's going to be really interesting. And there are like 7 or 8 teams that could win that league.
Yep.
Whereas at Auburn, I think that the expectation and the definite, it's all concrete.
Right.
You pretty much know what the situation is.
They either need to win 9 games or 8 and beat Alabama.
Did you look
for
up,
Hugh Freeze to be comfortable?
Did you look up the Stoops thing? All right, so I'm going to tie it to Auburn too. So go ahead and tell them how much it is.
Stoops buyout ranges between $37.5 to $40 million this year. It was $50 million last
So
year.
here's the fun part about that.
What's that?
This is the secondary number you always need to know about a buyout. We're all going to learn something today, kids.
Okay.
It's when you're owed it. when they have to pay you.
Oh,
Okay.
the installment side of it.
So Auburn for years was notorious for the big buyouts, but it was also that it would be X amount up front, usually 50% up front. So right now what Freeze is owed is basically the same neighborhood as having to eat the Harsin buyout if they were to fire him.
What?
But here's the difference. There is no percentage up front. I'm saying you walking in the dealership being like, I'm gonna finance it. How much is the monthly? Right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Freeze would not hurt them from a cash standpoint the same way like Malzahn did and Harsin did to a degree. Now, here's the insane thing about that Stoops deal, as I have read it. Did you just read it? Did you just see it? So you say the number again. How much is he owed?
$37.5 million if done after the 2025 season by the time.
And when is it owed?
It is owed. The more of the sum will have to be paid out within 2 months.
Yikes.
You got to pay that number
$34 million is what they're
in
saying.
60 days.
And they've got like a $12 million men's basketball roster, too.
Y'all stuck with him.
Yeah, no.
2 months.
So stop tweeting me about John Summerall.
And he's going to have a statue there one day, too, once they all get over how it's kind of ended.
Yeah, man, Stoops eye. They're a weird bunch because they are so curmudgeonly. But like, I mean, Bob's an institution. Oklahoma's going through a lot of weird palace intrigue right now with homie from the Senior Bowl taking over as
Jim
GM.
Nagy.
Yeah, Jim Nagy. Yeah, and then with Castiglione stepping down, something smells off about that. Kind of like a Bubba Cunningham situation in North Carolina with Belichick. Like, there's a lot because Venables is also high price tag too. That one feels like, man, there's a lot moving underneath Venables' feet. Whereas, like, look, man, hats off to Stoops. Like, Kentucky, y'all are stuck. And they may just be like 6 wins. Y'all, if he's 5-7, they're not eating that. They're not doing it.
No
I'm just telling you,
shot.
they're not doing it.
They've got to go like 2-10. They've got to really crash out. But they
even
may
if they're-
lose to Toledo week 1. Toledo's not a bad MAC team.
No, they beat the brakes off Mississippi State.
Like Toledo might be. I wonder what the line is. Thursday 3 is that we had Thursday at 9:20. We do against the spread picks.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and
I
give
love
away
that
that
we're so back.
Toledo is one of mine. For
Watch
this
that.
Saturday.
The 2 anxiety games like that. It's that one and then Southern Miss Mississippi State.
Yep.
Because Charles Huff just like grafted a conference championship team from Marshall onto that roster at Southern Miss.
Quickly, LSU Clemson. I know we talked a little bit about Clemson off the front of the hour. LSU has so many parts. They're not allowed to win week 1. It's in the bylaws of
Brian Kelly's
LSU
not allowed to
football.
win week
Well, that's
1.
also true. I don't know. When Clemson is at its best, it's good on defense with great linebacker play, good front seven. They've got a just tailor-made top 5 overall pick at edge rusher, and LSU's got 2 new tackles because they had 2 go to the NFL last year. I feel I'm nervous on how confident I am in Clemson in this game.
You should be, but also Brian Kelly historically it looks messiest in September.
Yep.
And they pull it together down the stretch. I think they're going to be good. I think they are like cusp, Mendoza line, whatever you cut off right now on playoff consideration.
Agreed.
Do they have the components on that roster to compete for the SEC title? Yes.
They can win the whole thing.
Do any of us feel confident about that?
Nope.
No.
Are any of us putting them past that other class that we just discussed? Look, as much as I can make fun of Georgia for that offense, they can will themselves into Atlanta. That's the standard that's been set. BK has not done that yet. Are they capable? Yes. This isn't a bit. I'm just let's be honest.
100%.
What you signed on for.
Totally on board.
By the way, Brian Kelly's record would not tell you that he would be on the hot seat. I don't think he is, but I do think the bloom is off the rose emotionally with a lot of those big boosters. But he too has I don't have it in front of me, but I looked them all up last week. It's a phenomenal buyout. He's not going anywhere is what I'm saying.
And in today's era of college football, you have built-in job security because you got to pay players now. So you're more willing to make other changes.
This is what I'll leave you with. I don't know how much time we have. The most interesting team in the Southeastern Conference this year is Florida. If they pull it out and they win 9 or 10 and they go to the playoff and Lagway's legit and he's a top 10 quarterback and we did it, right? We survived the gully. We made it through the hard times and we did not fire Billy Napier. The lesson that's going to be learned, this is why college is exactly like the NFL sometimes. Because the NFL is an imitation league, right? Any single trend from scheme to personnel, philosophy, front office, analytics, right? Everybody copies it immediately, right? Okay? The SEC is going to look around and say, they didn't fire him and eat that 32-33 last year, right? After Miami embarrassed them, after they looked terrible in month 1. They hung on. They reworked the personnel side. They let the long-term recruiting pay out. They took some power away from him, which is now going to happen across college football.
Yep.
So what I'm looking for as the trend is that if Florida is successful, do other schools say, rather than eat the buyout, eat the assistant's buyout, and then get a whole new staff and pay for that? Let's bring in a third party.
Yep.
Let's let the GM and personnel department act independently and fix that situation, which might be financially smarter for us. Also, guys, they got money tied up. This is the NFL, right? You got money tied up in that roster. How many times in the NFL have you seen an investment in a quarterback that's not matched by the investment in the coaching staff? I wonder who I'm talking about here. I wonder, it could be anybody locally. And then you bring in another staff, and then the kids that you drafted. Look, Lagway stumped hard for Napier.
Yeah.
I think it was like, all right, you ripped the cord here. I'm on the market.
Yep.
Wow, I know a lot of people was hoping he did go to the market.
Us. Stephen Godfrey in studio. College Football Inquirer on Yahoo. You get him there with Andy Staples, Ross Dellinger, very good friend talking college football. Good to see you.
Awesome, man.
We made it. Week 1.
All right.
Enjoy.
What do we need? 21 points against Syracuse win? We're comfortable?
Comfortable, I'd say.
Comfortable. Give me
24 to
35.
28. Or 30. I'd like 35.
All right.
Real quick, South Carolina, yes or no? You believe? We got to go, but yes or no?
We're at the exact same place as last year.
All right, say that.
Mendoza line.
Mike Shula's still the OC, so.
Correct.
I just want to see the goal of the Tennessee season. I just want to see the offense go brr. It's the simplest I can put it.
They're going to beat Georgia.
All right, perfect. Stephen Godfrey, there he is. Hour 4 of Ramon and Will coming up next.
We are fairly ball-knowing in this room.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned.
It's Ramon
They have a
Foster
non-commissioned sales team, and
Jewel
they sell
Roofing
below
and Exteriors,
MSRP.
man. Let me tell you about my
They've been
guys
doing
at Jewel
business
Roofing and
with
Exteriors, man. They
integrity
are
for
a
decades.
trusted,
Two
family-owned
Rivers
Middle
Ford, the
Tennessee
South's
company
most
who's
trusted
been
Ford
serving
dealer.
from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, 25 years? Yes, that's why. Let me tell you why. They stand out by building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics like door knocking or storm chasing, man. I don't like that. I know you guys don't like that either. And what we do love is local. And that's what Jewel Roofing and Exteriors are, man. I promise you meet their owner, Robbie, man. He's right here in Middle Tennessee, lives in Hendersonville, right down from me, man. Met him. We've conversated a few times and just had a good relationships. And I want you guys to do the exact same thing too, man. So for a roofer that you can count on, call this number, and it's a simple one. You can put it in your phone right now, 615-868-9999, or visit jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
9:03, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans concluded the 2025 preseason with a 23-13 win over the Minnesota Vikings Friday night, and they complete a 2-1 overall record in the preseason. The Titans have yet to make any roster cuts ahead of tomorrow's 3 p.m. Central deadline, but many teams across their league have begun making cuts. The Titans hold the top spot in waiver claims. In NFL news, the Minnesota Vikings, after trading quarterback Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles, are signing veteran quarterback Carson Wentz to back up second-year man J.J. McCarthy. Wentz joins his 6th different team in 6 years. Also in Las Vegas, Raiders backup quarterback Aiden O'Connell suffered a fractured wrist in Saturday's preseason action against the Arizona Cardinals. The injury will require surgery, and O'Connell is expected to miss the next 6 to 8 weeks. And Nashville Soccer Club returns to the win column with a 5-1 win over Orlando City SC Saturday night. Sam Surridge with a brace and becomes the second player in Nashville Soccer Club history to score 20 goals in a season, joining Hani Mukhtar, who scored 23 back in 2022. Speaking of Mukhtar, the forward recorded his 10th assist on Saturday night, which marks his 5th consecutive season with 10-plus assists and is the 4th player in MLS history to do so. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour here already on your Monday morning, a college football week 1 that is finally here. Welcome to your Monday morning and welcome to college football season, boys and girls. Ramon Foster is back. We've got Justin Hawkins back at the controls. Myself, Will Bowling. Back is the word of the day. Fall is back. Football is back. NFL regular season in a week and a half. We made it.
And respectfully, we can get rid of some of the names that people have loved in preseason and finally get down to 53-man rosters.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Start speaking on games, real games. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I do think about this a lot because I remember last season, Ramon, vividly, talking about roster battles and bottom of the roster decisions that were so critical, and most of them were inactive on game day. I'm just going to be honest. Now, that doesn't mean it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
And there are years where some of those guys end up being PT peers, as Dick Vitale would say, primetime players, primetime performers. Unfortunately, last year was not one of those.
Right. No, it was not one of those years, man. But this is also where this Titans team is, a steady buildup of now getting more of those core players in the mix. Like I'm more concerned to seeing if, as we spoke about earlier, is Tavondre Threat. Tavondre Threat.
I hope he's a Tavondre Threat.
Tavondre Sweat is going to be a contributor. How big of a contributor? Your second-year guys and James Williams and Cedric Gray, how big of an addition is that? You got guys that are going to be starting. We've seen good production out of them. And Cody Barton. You know what I'm saying? Like JC, like real tangible, like real storyline conversations of JC moving over to the right side of it. You know what I'm saying? Right side of his offensive line. It is the rebuilding of an offensive line the most important thing you can do to set up your rookie quarterback. Like,
yes, it is.
It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And even going into week 1, that Denver defense is nice.
Well, Brian Callahan talked about that Saturday. A great transition by you. You had no idea the segue I was about to make. Brian Callahan spoke about how, yes, preseason matters. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's important for Cam Ward to get reps. He also says on Saturday that the new challenge he's about to face in Denver is totally different.
First and foremost, very, very, very stiff test right out the gate with the defense in Denver. Very talented, very well coached. It's a good football team. It's a good test for our team in general. So, it's going to be a lot different than a preseason game, certainly. That's part of what practice is for, is to try to get as close to that preparation as possible. But, it's going to be the first time against a really good football team that he's going to play the entirety of the game. And there's going to be learning moments through the course of the whole process. But I think he's up to the task. We're ready for that challenge and looking forward to it. But, it's definitely, there's no correlation, I don't think, in my mind, from preseason play to your regular season, there's no ability to make any prediction of what that's going to look like. Very pleased with where we're at and what we've done, but certainly the Denver Broncos present an entirely different challenge in week one.
As you continue to get Cam what he's comfortable with, the offense-wise, merged into yours, where are you now in that process?
We're probably right on it. I think we've had a lot of really good conversations over training camp and a lot of good reps invested on plays that both he's done before and that are new to him. I think we got a good solid core of plays that he feels comfortable with, and we'll keep working on things that maybe he's not, and we'll keep filling it as we go. Getting more reps on things, trying to expand the world that he's has at his disposal. So all of it's been really good. I think he feels really comfortable with where we're at. You can ask him, more directly how he feels about it. But the process has been good. The conversations have been productive, and I think we're in a good spot from a schematic standpoint on what he feels good with.
It's Brian Callahan speaking with the media on Saturday, saying that preseason is not exactly a real indicator on how well you're going to play in the regular season.
No, absolutely not. The biggest thing to me is what he said first, is this is Cam's first time having to hold the ball for the entirety of the game. There's no checking out. How mentally can you be locked in? How will you make adjustments off of stuff that you've seen from quarter 1 to quarter 4? What did you learn that you can capitalize on? Like the communication of the backup quarterbacks talking to him talking to Nick Holtz, his quarterback coach Bo Hardigree, and then also what does Coach Callahan want from him on the sideline. That method he hasn't experienced yet. So I'm looking forward to that part of it from Cam more than anything. And you help that because of the run game, and if the big boys up front help you, and anytime you throw the ball, the guys bring it in. So, but that management of self in game one, the emotions of it too, Will, it pays. There's a lot to take in as a rookie.
And how do you fare when a team is game planning for your skill set
and your weaknesses? Yeah, there's a lot. I'm sure right now they're watching Miami tape from him last year. I guarantee you the defensive line coach in Denver is telling him, hey, we got to get our hands up this week. That ball comes out low at times. And also he's risky with the football. Pastor Tan, one of the best out there. How is he?
Added Jade Barron. Riley Moss.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of the best defenses in the NFL.
If they, to your point, and we spoke about a lot of this preseason, they take away Calvin. Cam, what is your adjustment?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and two, in preseason, like if you want to work on, let's just say for hypothetical, if you want to work on the timing of corner routes between Cam and your receivers, you see practice like, hey, we didn't get enough work in on these route concepts. Yeah. Well, if the defense is running cover 2 and they want to work on, hey, that's our base, that's what we want to do. We want to cover 2, just vanilla. Yeah. Well, your corner route's going to work. Oh. Say they want to work on cover 3. They want to be more in other situations. They want to be more man. They want to be stickier. Well, then maybe it doesn't work. It's just the luck of the draw of what do you work on and what does the defense work on? And do those things work together or work against each other? And it's why you can go 3-0 in preseason and be 3-14 in the regular season.
Right.
Sometimes what you're working on matches up well with what the defense wants to work on, and it works, and you score a lot of points, and everybody's happy in the preseason. Oh. But when the game planning part of this is put on film and put on the practice schedule, Ramon, I imagine that even just procedure and the routine of practice for this team is going to be really different. And heck, you got half the players out there. There's no time to even tune out a little bit of practice because other guys in 2s and 3s are getting reps. Like, how much more is there to do for you at practice when there's only 53 players plus practice squad versus 91 out there, and there's more time for you to get working.
And that's like there is more for him to do. Like the lion's share, if not all the reps, will go to Cam Moore. If they got a 12-play set, Cam is probably getting 9 of those plays, if not all 12 of them, based upon his ability to have to see, to your point, every single thing that Denver can send his way. And also, what are your adjustments if they don't show you anything? Hey, coach, is there an audible that you will have for Cam Moore whenever there is a protection or there's a coverage that he hasn't seen in those moments? Callahan, what is your adjustment? Offensive line, can you guys protect him in situations where it's not perfect too? There's a ton, to your point, Will, that has to be done. Here's the other part about it. I think they'll probably work on Labor Day. So they got Monday. They'll probably be off on Tuesday. They got Wednesday, Thursday, and then they'll probably travel. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So
Yeah,
we're
walk
talking
through
about
Friday before you fly on Saturday.
exactly. Right. So that is his adjustment that he's going to have to make too. This is where film and his smarts that he's taken from April have to come into the forefront now.
It's addressing your weaknesses.
It is.
Teams are not going to be nearly as vanilla as they've been.
No.
Let's go to Mark in East Tennessee, 615-737-1045. What's up, Mark?
What up, Mark?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Great. Good morning.
Hey, love you guys' show. I listen to you every day or watch on YouTube. Ramon, I can't wait for you and Mike Keith to crank it up in Knoxville this weekend, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Will, I overheard you talking Friday with Brent and Don. If you are on the sideline or not, buddy, you need to try to get some Brooks or Hoka shoes.
I made an order over the weekend from a brand that I will not give a free shout-out to, but I got more cushion. I'm good to go.
I was going to check and see, buddy, because they're pretty comfortable, so I was going to check with you.
I got you. No, those are two good brands.
Yeah, they are. Real good brands. You gotta. We were talking about it earlier.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate
man.
the call.
I was like, Will, you get pedicures?
I got a new. Yeah, I don't actually. Is the answer.
You might want to.
I was talked into one once in my life, but you and Slay are big pedicure guys. I'm not as much of one, but maybe I will.
Yeah, just because they'll massage you at the end of it when they doing all the. Don't get no. You can get fingernail polish if you want to.
I'm good on that one.
But
I'm good on that.
Take care of the feet is all I would tell you, man. Once every 2 months or once a month to do the job. Will take your boot thing.
I got some Titan blue dunks with a little bit of red accent. That's kind of like Oilers colorway. It's not that I was trying to get. I just didn't realize how uncomfortable those were.
Yeah,
and they're not uncomfortable, but for standing on the sideline and having like 6 hours of roaming a stadium and just being on your feet, they're not the best. So we got some cushioned on clouds.
They're skateboard shoes,
right? I do like them. They look great. So those will be in the booth shoes. Those will not be walking around shoes.
No, you get you some walk around money.
Right. Coming up. You're ridiculous. The Monday Roast is next. Ramona Will on 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Go by and see them to kick off your Monday. They are locally owned. We love Scooters Coffee. In Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Who in sports deserves to be roasted? 615-737-1045. You can call and let us know for the Monday Roast.
Hmm.
615-737-1045. How you jump in the F&M Bank chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So Farmageddon was exported to Dublin over the weekend. If you're unfamiliar, Farmageddon is the yearly matchup of the Big 12 between Iowa State and Kansas State, fighting on the field for a Week 0 win. Well, there was also fighting in the stands, Ramon. Mark and Anthony Johnson, the father and brother of Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson, had to release a statement yesterday because they got in a fight with each other. Yeah. I originally read this and thought that it was them fighting against some mean Iowa State fans or something. I wasn't going to put this into my Monday roast because I was like, you know what? Maybe they deserve to kick some butt. Maybe there was some mouthy Ames, Iowa natives that were just annoying them or saying mean things about Avery Johnson. No, they were fighting each other. 247's Tim Fitzgerald reported Saturday night that Mark and his older brother got into a physical confrontation post-game. According to witnesses, the conflict turned physical. According to one source, no arrests were made. There reportedly is video of the disagreement, and at least one eyewitness is tied to Kansas State athletics. Well, guys, what are we doing?
Nothing.
It's Week 0. If we're going to fight, let's at least do it in November. Yeah. Week 0, your playoff chances are still ahead of you, guys. What are we doing? Avery Johnson, you deserve better. You're one of the most electric players in college football. To Mark and Anthony Johnson, you're roasted.
Boom. Roasted.
Crazy to me.
What could they have been fighting over?
I have no idea.
You know what I said?
Maybe they were wondering who's going to pick up the tab of Guinness at the concession stand.
Well, you know what I was thinking? It's probably Big Brother telling Dad, see, this is why we should have transferred to Tennessee. Let me make it about us, Will.
Literally a matchup on Saturday of two quarterbacks that I think Tennessee would have loved to have.
Oh, my God.
Rocco Becht versus Avery Johnson.
Oh, my goodness, man. That was a good squabble, too, by the way. That was the fight.
Oh, the fight. Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even seen the video.
Oh, my gosh. Well, they're rolling around getting to it, man.
Oh, no.
Search it real quick. It is good. Like, to fight your dad also when he's in your life, that is wild.
Oh, wow.
No.
This is like a full-on.
No.
Oh, yeah. They had to be peeled apart.
Oh,
They getting dirty, Will.
Oh, my goodness.
Full-on punches thrown.
No, they getting dirty, man. Anybody raise their hand and say dad like that, and unless some crazy domestic stuff going on, you're a different breed.
They did release a statement and apologize. So they've taken says we have resolved our differences and take full responsibility for our actions.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say you're resolving your differences when your last name isn't different. My next roast, this is a double roast here. I think both people on both sides of the Boomer Esiason Cincinnati Bengals Ring of Honor fiasco deserve to be roasted. So if you missed it last week, Boomer Esiason is going to be honored in the Cincinnati Bengals Ring of Honor. And in classic Bengals fashion, they're being cheap about it. This was Boomer Esiason on his radio show at WFAN in New York, Boomer and Gio.
If you are traveling in for the weekend from out of town, we have secured a block of rooms at the Residence Cincinnati Downtown Hotel.
Wait, hold on.
What?
What? Renaissance.
A block of rooms. Usually when people say a block of rooms, it's like a wedding thing, and you have to go on there and say, I'm part of this party.
Yeah, but this is why they sent it. So the Renaissance Cincinnati Downtown Hotel at a preferred discounted rate.
Oh.
Hold on. So I can book my group rate for the Ring of Honor weekend. Rooms are limited, so please book directly for early and the best rate. We'll look forward to hosting you in the jungle for an unforgettable weekend. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or another guy on the staff with any questions. Thank you and Houday.
Who they think they are, making you pay for your own hotel room? That's what I would say.
You think I'm an elitist if I say no to that?
No. I mean, your name is on the stadium, and they sent out what seems to me is an email that went to many people. You know, how many people are in the Ring of Honor now? 8?
Yeah, I think there are 8 of us. Yeah.
All right, so they should be getting different emails than the generic email that happened right there. Like, that email should go to, I don't know, any normal player who played for the Bengals, like who's not in the Ring of Honor. I don't know. Pick anybody. And you are there with your name on the stadium, and they gave you this generic email about how you could purchase a hotel room, and also, I guess the flight is not that's also on you.
I think so. Yeah. What? Look at little cute little Winnie.
Oh, that was awesome! What a great moment.
And then
All right, that's good.
sitting in the stands.
Oh, here you go.
I think so.
They have him
Yeah,
sitting in the stands.
Come on.
Not even in a
love
box.
I love my
thought it was
Bengal
a
fans,
box
but
or
man,
something. They don't have you in a box?
I don't think any of that. I'm not sure.
I mean, that's
my
that,
belt
I'm
at?
sorry, but that's for a NFL franchise. That's
All
embarrassing.
right, that's good. Now, that's Boomer and Gio, a W fan of New York. Boomer Esiason, who's being honored in the Bengals Ring of Honor, is being given a discounted block of rooms. He's not getting his own hotel room.
Flight.
And he's got to sit in the stands. There's not like a suite kind of thing. I think they're both in the wrong. I think Boomer is kind of sour grapes for making this public.
No.
But I do think Cincinnati has got to do better by him. You're
I
both
think they're
roasted.
trying to save for Trey Hendrickson.
Boom. Roasted.
He said it's only 8 people in the Ring of Honor. You telling me you can't afford a flight and a
No, I
hotel
agree.
room?
I totally
They have
agree.
to be paying.
Everyone
Trey
gets
Hendrickson with
roasted.
that money.
Everyone gets
Yeah.
roasted here.
Allegedly, and I see it, Lindsay put it in our chat, they were also the franchise that only gave their guys real eggs if they won games. They were a powdered eggs, like breakfast group, okay? You got cracked eggs if you won games. This is before eggs skyrocketed, okay? Also, I just want to lay that out.
Before Big Egg got in the mix.
Egg got expensive.
One final roast, another thing we got sound for. Mike Vrabel talking about a wide receiver who is out for the season. It got out, and this was Mike Vrabel when asked about it, speaking with the New England media last week.
Like there was a report today that Jalen Pope will have to have season-ending shoulder surgery. Can you add anything to that?
No. I don't know, other than I'd like to find out where some of these come from. You know, some of these rats around here, so we'll figure that out.
I saw somebody, I wish I could credit the person who tweeted it last week, say, yeah, all those Vrabel things are funny when you're 0-0, when you're winning. Y'all got to get real tired of that when you're like 6-11 and he's still got Todd Downing on staff.
What?
Look, it's fine until you realize his offensive line coach has no clue what he's doing. So enjoy it now, New England fans. But anyway, whoever leaked out that Jalen Polk was out for the season in New England, you're roasted.
Boom. Roasted.
That's pretty good.
He act like he gonna figure out who it is when he's also a leak to the public too. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Every coach on staff got to connect.
Some of these rats around here.
Yeah, okay.
Justin, what you got for us?
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, Myles Garrett, Browns defensive end, was cited for going 100 miles an hour in a 60 miles an hour speed zone. Well, last week, a Cleveland reporter decided that he just wanted to know what it felt like and what it seemed like as a guy to drive in that Porsche at going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
What is it like to be in that car and seeing that speedometer creep up toward 100 miles an hour?
I'd honestly rather talk about football on this team than anything I'm doing off field other than the back to school, event that I did the other day.
But still, I mean, people want to know about it.
People want to know a lot of things.
He says people want to know. No, you want to know, buddy. So buy your Porsche, go 100 miles an hour, get cited for your ticket, and move on with your life. Buddy, I know this is training camp, but why are we asking these kinds of questions? You know he's not going to answer.
Boom. Roasted.
Can we save that as a drop? People want to know a lot of things.
People want to know a lot of things.
Next time we have a question we can't answer.
I would love to know.
Or you don't want to answer something I've asked you, Ramon, you can just, but Myles Garrett, how do I feel about this? Well, people want to know a lot of things.
That's good. That had to be a Cincinnati writer right there just asking questions. Well, he said when you see that speedometer creeping up to 100, what if he just said, feels good, Broke boy.
It's not the first time that he's gotten up that high.
No, it's not. He flipped one of them other portions.
Right.
On a serious note, he got to figure that out, though, straight up.
Well, the thing to figure out is don't let your foot be so heavy. It's not exactly something hard to do. It's not like figuring out why you're slicing off the tee on the golf course. This is something you have control over, Miles.
Boy, listen, think about it. Carter Cruz is what we're figuring out
Apparently
right now.
not.
You know that's also a big hub for like supercars, Cleveland.
Really?
Yes.
Nothing else to do.
Big Lambo is there.
Apparently,
Big
Miles Garrett
Porsches
knows.
there.
Isn't there a big museum there, like a car museum?
I'm not sure
serious.
on
There's
that
like
one.
what am I thinking of? I might just think of the Rock and Roll Museum.
Yeah, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there though too. Yeah,
I knew that.
Cleveland has a huge.
Oh,
car
you talking about the big old car museum that?
Yeah.
I think that's in Kentucky that had a sinkhole.
No,
well, that one too. I know that
Corvette.
one. I've driven by that one plenty. The
Crawford
Corvette.
Aviation.
Crawford Auto Aviation Museum. That's what I'm thinking of. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. I'm telling Cleveland's big car land.
I'll be
is
there.
crazy. It got so much snow.
I'll be there in December for the first time.
I think Rolls is there. Like a lot of people go there to buy cars. I had.
Justin, you got another one for us?
Yeah, I got one more. I'll make it really quick. There's a WNBA trend that has now entered the NFL landscape.
I thought we were going to make it without talking about this.
Well,
Picked it up.
I wish this wasn't true, but guys, green things are flying everywhere. No, I'm not talking about UFOs. I'm
bring
talking
more
about
attention to it.
No more attention to it.
No, that's the problem. Is it keeps getting posted on social media, so more people want to do it. That way they can be the person that brought a green toy.
These female sex toys, and why are they green? What is it about?
I don't know.
Because it's a trend.
These people, and I do mean these people, aren't thinking. They're just doing something that gets them attention on social media.
Maybe I
and radio
wouldn't bring
shows
it
like
up if
this.
it wasn't so local. It happened Friday night at the
I
Titans.
know, and I thought we were going to
Nissan.
escape it.
It's a good thing you weren't down on the sideline.
That's true.
Boom. Roasted.
That's true.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ramon, what you got?
I'm going to warn y'all, I got some light ones, and I got a heavy one at the end.
Okay.
It won't be crazy. One, I just want to put this one out there again. Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. I left this in my notes again. Jerry is doing podcasts.
You see what Micah did over the weekend?
I missed some of it. What was it?
He was laying down on the training table like he was asleep during the Cowboys preseason game in Dallas.
Oh, my God.
Like 2 feet on the ground, like you would go in the, like just lay it all the way back.
Laid on the cross.
He knew the cameras were watching.
Can we end that?
The Falcons fans also asked him, it's like, hey, come to Atlanta.
And he held up a phone to his ear.
And his agent, David Mulligetta, is passing messages to Ryan Clark to speak on his behalf, too. I know, like, the soap opera is a part of, like, the Cowboys thing. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. I got a good one, too. Well, here's a funny one before I get to another one. Also, roast me real quick for not knowing that Avery Johnson was a black man. Had no idea that he's biracial. Yes.
Oh.
Look at the
Kansas
picture of
State
the
quarterback?
Yes.
Well, then everybody
He took after mom's traits big time. Boom. Roasted to all of y'all.
Roasted.
Nobody would have thought that flow of hair.
Had no idea.
I'm more just surprised you're putting this in your Monday roast. Like,
I had no idea.
Okay.
Man has no features whatsoever of Pops. Pops got to be 80% Irish himself then. Hey, listen, we got to be able to at least joke about it a little bit, okay? Man got one drop of black blood, I'm telling you. He's a black man. Man. I thought that was quite hilarious because a lot of the internet found it out on Twitter this past weekend.
Good to know. Question mark.
By the way, I was watching high school football from time to time this past weekend. ESPN posted some real good games. Matter Day was out there. Chris Henry Jr. is a problem.
Yeah, he's future Ohio State wide receiver Chris Henry Jr. Looks like another Ohio State receiver.
210, Mawson, folks. But that ain't the game I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Folsom Bulldogs and the Grant Union Pacers.
Okay.
Grant Union, some teams out of Northern California, Sacramento area, absolutely went bananas in the pregame. Went on the other side of the 50, taunting players. Here's the kicker, though, Will. There's a 5-star quarterback commitment going to BYU by the name of Ryder Lyons on Folsom. First play of the game, kickoff. Folsom drops the ball, 99-yard housed.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking about there were so many unsportsmanlike conducts against Grant Union. They ended up beating them, Will. And I'm talking about they went bananas in the pregame. Grant did. They beat them 51-13. They scored with like 3 minutes left, Will, and they should have scored more is what I'm telling you. Absolutely dogged them out. It was by far one of the most unsportsmanlike moments I've ever seen in a high school football game, and still get housed 51-13. Crazy. That's silly work right there. Tough.
Boom. Roasted.
And my last one. I got to roast myself real quick. This weekend I had something sentimental happen to me. Tragic, if you would say, too. I lost my pup this past week, man. Zeus, 10, about to be 11. Y'all, full disclosure, I cried like a baby. I did. I was fine up until we walked into the veteran office. I used to say all the time, you cry over a dog? Like, you this over a dog? To anybody that I've ever had that, like, don't let your dog ride in the front seat, I still don't believe in that, but I see why. I was attached to that dog way more than I ever thought I was. He was family. He passed away at 10, kidney failure got him. I got to roast myself for not understanding the weight of the human-pet relationship. Super significant. We're still adjusting around the crib. Babsy, I get it now. I fully get it, Don Davenport. It's going to be a while before I get hurt again, is what I'm telling y'all.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to roast you for that. There's no way to roast you.
Nah, but like, that's all I kept saying is like, I get it. I get it.
Part of the family.
Yeah. Dog.
Zeus is a real one.
And he changed a lot. Like, he was very protective of kids. A lot of kids that did not like big dogs loved him. And I know some adults who thought Rottweilers were the bad breed. And I know people now considering getting Rottweilers because of Zeus's interaction with them. My ups and downs with him, phenomenal. It's gonna be a while before I asked to get hurt again from the pet world. That was if you saw me crying this weekend in Hendersonville, mind your business, okay?
Very sorry. That's awful.
Tough moment, man. But long live Zeus Foster, man. That one got me.
A king. Sure. Long live Zeus. May he rest in peace.
I cried so hard I caught a headache. I had to stop at a drugstore to grab some leave. Like it
not
got
fun.
Me. Yeah,
not fun. Well, be easy on yourself. You don't deserve roasting yourself for that either. I agree.
But I just had to come to the realization.
For sure.
It matters.
It does. Part of the family.
So,
no doubt.
It is.
Let's go to Eric real quick for a Monday Rose, 615-737-1045. What's up, Eric?
What up, Eric?
Hey, guys, I've got two. You were talking about the first one, you talk about trends. This unfortunately become another trend, guys, and that's individuals bringing guns to high school games. I mean, come on, guys. That stuff needs to stop. Heard about one in Middle Tennessee and another at a game in Kentucky. So, that you need to stop doing that.
Boom.
The other one,
roasted.
Guys, the other one is kind of something I saw this morning. You may or may not have seen this. Of course, I flipped around, saw them get up, and they got into a discussion about Cam Ward. And, of course, Mike Greenberg asked Mike Tannenbaum that how did he think Cam was going to do this rookie season. Not only did he think he was going to exceed expectation, he actually predicted that the Titans were going to win the division and make the playoffs. Now, look, I love Mike T, and if I'm wrong, I'll call and give myself a boom roasted. But I'm not going to go that far. That is an insane take where he actually predicted the Titans to win the division and go to the playoffs, which means they get a whole playoff game. Love to see it, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So my other boom roasted has to go to Mike T. Guys, y'all take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Eric.
Roasted.
I'd love for Mike Tannenbaum to be right. I'd love for him to be right.
I might have got to say something.
615-737-1045, our number. Coming up, a defensive player has just been released by an AFC team who is not subject to waivers, but someone I would be interested in if I was Chad Brinker or Mike Borgonzi. We'll talk about that next. Wrapping up the show, Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, 104.5 The Zone. Buck Rising Show on deck. Cover 2 of Blaine and Zach, 3HL. Got your full reaction to Titans and Vikings and preview of cut day tomorrow. I imagine we'll get some cuts today, Ramon.
Yeah. You don't want to do it all in one day. You want to get these guys the flexibility to find a new home.
That's right.
For sure.
There is a corner that just became available. The Miami Dolphins are releasing corner Mike Hilton. 31-year-old, played last year for Cincinnati, played 16 games. Mike Hilton, who was with Brian Callahan in 2021, 2022, and 2023. 4 years in Pittsburgh as a Steeler. You're one of your teammates.
Yeah, I saw Mike be raised up.
2017 through 2020. Excellent nickel corner. Unfortunately, he is one of the corners who intercepted Ryan Tannehill in the 2021 divisional round playoff game in Nissan Stadium.
We were having a nice time.
He is not subject to waivers, but I would be very interested if I was the Tennessee Titans.
I've always liked Mike.
Very interested.
Mike is the type of guy that this defense could use. Aggressive, smart, has some deficiencies from here and there. Not great in deep down the field coverage, but good in that 7-yard box around the line of scrimmage.
He would start as a backup.
Yeah.
But he would allow you, if L'Jarius Sneed is hurt, to put Roger McCreary still outside and let him play inside.
Yep. I
and
agree.
you could go McCreary, Brownlee, Hilton. That's not a bad 3 at corner if Sneed is not available. Because I think even if Sneed does play in Denver, I don't want him playing every snap. I think it's going to be a process to get him all the way back to a full workload. It doesn't mean you're relying on Mike Hilton to shut anybody down. I mean, he's 31. He's been banged up a little bit, but he played 16 games last year and 17 games in 2023. Like, he's playing.
He's a situational player.
He's not what he used to be, but I think there's a role for Mike Hilton on this team if he's interested.
Listen, if he still has the ability to time up the snap at the line of scrimmage for what Cedric Gray is doing too, I mean, you got to – I like Mike. I'm partial to Mike, and I'll be completely honest with y'all because I saw Mike in the pathway he came into this league with Coach Tomlin. You too little, Mike. You too little. And all Mike did was just show and prove. He's 31. I get it. But I do think he's still a weapon.
He's what Roger McCreary wants to become.
Yeah.
Undersized, scrappy dog.
Yeah.
I'd be interested. Now, he's got to want to come here because, again, subject to waivers. If you are a vested veteran, then you don't have to go through waivers. You get to pick your next place. But I would be making that call if I was the Titans. And Brian Callahan would be intimately familiar with him, having spent time with him in Cincinnati.
No doubt.
Eli's got a roast for us. 615-737-1045. Go ahead, Eli. Eli, what's up?
Aging Eli. I'm going to start blaming Jayhawk here in a minute.
Whoa. What did I do?
That's on me.
Dang
We
it,
tried
Eli.
to go to Eli right there, man.
The book of Eli.
The book of
Well,
Eli.
it's empty. Try one more time. Eli, final chance. Final call.
You got me?
Oh, we got you now. There you go.
Don't blame me again.
My bad. I didn't know you had it on mute.
You're good.
You on mute. My fault.
What you got?
I don't know if y'all caught this or not, but Rampage Jackson's son this weekend was at a wrestling event, right?
Yes.
And he got to meet all the wrestlers. And one of them, because he's a streamer and he had a camera crew around him, one of the wrestlers smashed the empty Coke can over his head before the match. So they got into a hit, but they shook hands and got cool after that. So 2 hours later, his
We're losing you, Eli. Hold your phone up.
No.
We lost Eli. Oh, Eli's got bad connection. I'm sorry, Eli.
Oh, I can finish it
Go
if you
for
want
it.
me to. Eli, I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but boom, roast it real quick. But his son walks up to this wrestler, and he hits him with the wrestling bit, smashes a can on his head. And the kid bucks up a little bit, but the wrestler at the time, he apologized. Oh, my bad. I thought you were part of the crew. Is what he thought he was a wrestler.
Oh, no.
The guy apologized to him. Man, I'm sorry. They hugged, shook it out. His Rampage Jackson's son is on the front row. And he goes into the ring wheel, picks this guy up, and you can tell he kind of playing a little bit. The wrestler slams him on the ground. Rampage's son gets on top of him, starts real punching him. He beat the crap out of this man. Like he knocked him unconscious and continued to beat him. Some of the other wrestlers tried to pull Rampage's son off of him and didn't or couldn't. Like he could have almost killed this dude.
He was on a rampage.
And what's crazy is he's mad at his dad. His dad and his relationship is one of the most toxic I've ever seen on social media. He tells his kid some very unfavorable things, and I think he's mad at his dad to try to prove himself when he took it out on this wrestler who had no clue what was going on. That was bad. He gonna have a serious assault charge, attempted murder almost in a sense.
Boom, roasted.
Richard on YouTube says, I want to roast Nico for not getting the starting QB spot. That was a fake tweet.
Boom, roasted.
Nico Imaliava is the starting
Boom,
quarterback at
roasted.
UCLA. We gotta, guys. We're in the regular season. It's week 1.
Read the account names.
Heads on swivels. Read the bio.
Richard G. West. Is not a real account.
We can't. Well, don't give anybody more attention. We can't be getting caught by fake accounts. It's not the off season anymore. Yeah, Nico's a starter at UCLA.
Yeah, he is.
No, I don't mean we're not going to hate watch, but he's a starter.
Yeah, he is.
He plays Kevin Dyson's Utes to start the season.
I love that.
Utah, UCLA.
Yep.
Should be fun. That is your Monday morning. Tomorrow we will have Austin Price. We'll take a look at Tennessee's Syracuse. We do have the Vol Network analyst on this radio show every day. He's half the show, so we're going to talk about that matchup. Cut day for the Titans in the NFL. Tons to get to. We made it, guys. Fall's back. Football's back. Ramon, take us home.
Hey, what you must remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.